Chapter 328. This scene fell into the eyes of everyone present. They were full of admiration for Lin Rei's alchemy skills and had even thought of recruiting Lin Rei. However, after this period of understanding Lin Rei, they gave up on such thoughts. They knew Lin Rei's temper very well. As long as Lin Rei was unwilling, even if a knife was placed against his neck, he wouldn't have any reaction. The air was filled with the fragrance of the elixir. At this moment, the three of them looked at the elixir with shocked expressions. Just now, when the elixir appeared, the fragrance of the elixir drifted into the noses of everyone present. Their souls began to inexplicably change. What was even more shocking was that their cultivation base, which had been dormant for a long time, actually began to loosen up the moment they smelled the fragrance of the elixir. Everyone's eyes were filled with envy and desire. They really wanted to eat the elixir in front of them immediately, but they knew that they couldn't. Compared to the elixir, the person who could refine the elixir was the person they should befriend. Of course, Lin Rei, who was closing his eyes to recover his mental strength and immortal spiritual energy, naturally didn't know what everyone was thinking. At this moment, Lin Rei was incomparably happy. He didn't expect that this kind of elixir would be so troublesome. If his level wasn't high enough, he wouldn't have been able to refine the elixir. However, in any case, the refinement was successful in the end. Otherwise, the loss of heavenly materials and earthly treasures would really outweigh the gains. Just the wishing fruit alone would make Lin Rei's heart ache for a while. Thinking back to the price he had to pay to obtain the wishing fruit, Lin Rei didn't want to do it again. Gotcha! Gotcha! Suddenly, just as everyone was coveting the elixir, a thunderous sound resounded through the sky. Even if they were 100 meters underground, they could still hear it clearly. How could this be? Why would there be thunderous sounds all of a sudden? Hearing the sound, everyone wanted to investigate. However, at this moment, they were 100 meters underground and within the array. Even if they wanted to, they were powerless. Bzzzt. At this moment, as the sound of thunder rang out, the three medicinal pills floating in front of Linley began to tremble, as though they had encountered something they feared the most. Hiss. Seeing this scene, everyone present sucked in a breath of cold air. They were very unwilling to connect the phenomenon of the pill with the sound of thunder, but at this time, they could only think so. Sigh. Looks like we've underestimated Brother Lin Rei. He's able to attract a pill tribulation by simply refining 3 pills. I wonder how many other identities he has that we don't know about. At this moment, everyone was filled with love, hate, and jealousy towards Lin Rei. But there was nothing they could do about it. Who asked him to be so awesome? This also meant that he was destined to have an extraordinary life. The sound of thunder continued for a while before it disappeared without a trace. As for the strange movements of the 3 elixirs, the moment the sound of thunder disappeared, they also returned to normal. However, at this time, the surface of the elixirs was suffused with a halo, and the fragrance was even stronger than before. However, there was still no movement from Lin Rei's breathing adjustment. Seeing this, no one could remain calm. They began to become anxious. As for the medicinal pills floating in the air, they seemed to have already forgotten about them. What's going on? Why hasn't Lin Rei woken up yet? Could it be that something has happened? This sentence was asked in everyone's hearts at the same time. At the same time, they were praying in their hearts that Lin Rei was safe and sound. Time passed little by little. Lin Rei's complexion became better and better. His previously dispirited breath was now improving little by little, and everyone was still worried about him. Phew. Lin Rei's actions immediately relaxed everyone's hearts at this moment. Their faces revealed smiles, and their previous worried expressions disappeared at this moment. After adjusting his breathing, Lin Rei opened his eyes. What he saw was everyone looking at him with concern. This time, it was Lin Rei who felt embarrassed. Hee, why are you all looking at me like that? Is there something on my face? With that, Lin Rei reached out and touched his face. However, at this time, Bai Yun came forward and said with concern, "Young master, Everyone was worried that something had happened to you when you didn't move for a long time. But now, it's all right. This sentence pointed out the source of this scene, and made Lin Rei's heart warm up a lot. Hee, thank you for everyone's concern. However, now is not the time to thank. I ask Xiao to protect me. No matter what happens next, Xiao must protect me thoroughly. I have to quickly absorb the medicinal properties of the medicinal pills. After speaking, Lin Rei did not allow anyone to answer. With a wave of his hand, 3 medicinal pills were caught in Lin Rei's hand. Looking at the medicinal pills in his hand, Lin Rei smiled with relief. He put away 2 of them, and swallowed one of them into his stomach. His actions were so smooth that no one could react to what was going on. At this time, Lin Rei had already entered a meditative state. They knew that the moment a cultivator entered a meditative state, as long as there was something in the outside world that was harmful to them, it would cause them to go berserk. There were even more terrifying things that could happen. Everyone looked at each other and silently walked to the surroundings. They quietly sat cross-legged on the spot and quietly protected Lin Rei. At this time, Lin Rei had entered a mysterious state. The moment he swallowed the medicinal pills, Lin Rei felt that once the medicinal pills entered his mouth, they turned into pure energy and began to flow in his veins. A part of it went into the Dan Palace, and the other part began to increase Lin Rei's mental strength. From the looks of it, something good is going to happen next. Looking at the flow of the energy, Lin Rei had a premonition that what was going to happen next was something that was worth him being excited about. The medicinal properties that entered his mental strength began to increase his mental strength bit by bit. At the beginning, his mental strength was still a little resistant. However, slowly, his mental strength and medicinal properties began to fuse and cultivate together. This caused his mental strength, which had already reached the peak of the heaven realm, to have a slight breakthrough. At the same time, his spiritual energy, which had just broken through, separated the medicinal properties and entered the Dan Palace. At the same time, Lin Rei's primordial spirit, who was sitting in the Dan Palace, opened his eyes the moment the medicinal properties of the complete spirit pill entered. He opened his mouth and absorbed the medicinal properties. At the same time, the barrier to breaking through to the heaven immortal realm began to appear faintly. Looks like I'm right. The wishing fruit refined into a medicinal pill is several times stronger than a single wishing fruit. Not only can it increase one's cultivation to break through to the heaven immortal realm, but it also allows one's mental strength to enter the king realm. Tisk, it's really strong. However, each person can only take such a medicinal pill once. At this time, Lin Rei, who had gotten a bargain but was still acting innocent, sighed regretfully in his heart. However, if Lin Rei's words were heard by the people in the immortal realm, they would definitely have the heart to strangle Lin Rei to death. Such a medicinal pill that could allow one to break through their cultivation and mental strength did not exist in the immortal realm. Even if there were, it was a priceless treasure, a treasure to guard a sect. Stabilizing his mind, Linley clasped his hands. Right now, Linley was incomparably cautious. He had to make a breakthrough in spiritual energy, a breakthrough in formation master, and a breakthrough in cultivation. Right now, Linley had no choice but to focus 200% of his attention. Otherwise, if he wasn't careful, his body would explode, and everyone around him would be affected as well. Slowly, following the direction of his heart, Lin Rei began to operate. The goal this time was to break through to the King Realm Array Master. Therefore, Lin Rei began to focus on breaking through his mental strength. As for his cultivation, Lin Rei began to circulate the primal chaos scripture. As for whether he could break through in the end, he would let nature take its course and leave it to fate. At this time, in his spiritual sea, which was originally like a vast ocean, began to overflow. The point of breaking through to the King Realm was also slowly approaching. Oh, soon, soon. This time, no matter what, I have to break through to the King Realm Array Master. Having made up his mind, Lin Rei was ruthless to himself. His mental strength, which was originally flowing very slowly, was desperately mobilized by Lin Rei at this moment. It began to madly devour the eye of the full spirit pill. In an instant, the speed of his breakthrough gradually increased. Of course, the outside world didn't know about Linley's actions. Moreover, his body didn't show any signs of discomfort. At this moment, the outside world was completely silent. However, the blood qi that Jin Jingshao, Wan Yunduo, and the others were afraid of started to appear in the formation for some unknown reason. This scene made them unable to sit still. What's going on? What should we do? Lin Rei is now cultivating. Although the few of us can resist this blood fog, we can't resist it for very long. What if Lin Rei doesn't wake up when the time comes? What should we do? At this time, Jian Feng, who had been calm in the face of all this, began to lose his calm as he looked at the blood fog in front of him. In his heart, he hoped that Lin Rei would wake up quickly. However, who could say for sure when it came to cultivation? Just like this, everyone began to shrink towards Lin Rei. At this time, Lin Rei was indeed very excited. Oh, finally, it's finally here. Seeing that his mental strength had reached the saturation point, Lin Rei could not help but be excited. Oh, come on. Let the storm come more fiercely. Seeing that his mental strength had reached the saturation point and could break through, Lin Rei roared and began to break through to the King Realm Array Master. Mental strength was a prerequisite for breaking through to the King Realm Array Master. At the same time, it was also a prerequisite for elixirs. As long as he broke through to the next level of mental strength, he would naturally succeed in these two aspects. Whoosh, whoosh. In an instant, the vast sea of mental strength was no longer calm at this moment. It began to collide with the barrier of the King Realm. Thump, thump, thump. After repeated collisions, the barrier of the King Realm began to loosen a little. A mere barrier of the King Realm. If you want to stop me, Lin Rei, then you have chosen the wrong person. For Lin Rei, who was willing to sacrifice his name for the sake of breaking through, this was not a problem at all. Chapter 329. Dong. 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 Lin Rei was already numb. At this time, the only thought in Lin Rei's mind was to quickly break through to the celestial immortal realm. After all, opportunities were hard to come by. Lin Rei had been persisting for a long time. Finally, at this moment, Lin Rei achieved his goal. Kacha. Boom. In an instant, a terrifying mental strength rushed out of Lin Rei's body and wreaked havoc in the surroundings. At this moment, Lin Rei was stunned. It was not because of anything else, but because he had broken through to the King Realm. This feeling was completely different. In order to experience the power of the King Realm, Lin Rei quickly took out the array that he was puzzled about. He used the King Realm's mental strength to investigate it. However, soon, Lin Rei's face revealed a smile. Hee hee. Sure enough, I really broke through to the King Realm. Now, I can see the mysteries of the array that I didn't understand before. At this time, Lin Rei wanted to rush up and roar at the sky to vent the joy in his heart. However, for the sake of his heavenly immortal cultivation, Lin Li still endured it. He retracted the appropriate amount of mental energy that was sent out and hurriedly turned his attention to the Pill Palace. Damn! How can this be? How can the primordial spirit grow so big? The moment he entered the Pill Palace, he saw that the primordial spirit, which was originally a few feet tall, was now close to 20 feet tall. Moreover, what made Lin Rei feel incredulous was that the barrier to breaking through to the celestial immortal realm was clearly placed in front of him. Moreover, Lin Rei could feel that as long as he used a little bit of strength, he could break through the barrier in front of him. Looking at all this, it was as if the conditions were right. It was so smooth that Lin Rei felt a little incredulous. Sigh. Forget it, it's more important to break through quickly. Those guys outside must be anxious. Thinking of the people outside, Lin Rei could not help but begin to worry. He was afraid that the people outside would break through the array from other entrances and activate it, turning it into a killing array. However, although Lin Ray did not want to think so, in fact, the situation outside was not that good. Not good. Everyone, hurry up. Protect Lin Ray. We must protect him. Only he can resolve our crisis. At this time, the blood fog outside the array was getting thicker and thicker, and its speed was increasing. It was as if someone was deliberately manipulating all this. After seeing this scene, the people's eyes had no choice but to retreat. But in order to prevent Lin Ray's to prevent the blood fog, to prevent the blood fog, Lin Ray. To prevent the blood fogs to let the blood fog to prevent the blood fogs Lin Ray had. Dongs. Looks like we won't be able to escape this calamity. Looking at the blood fog approaching them bit by bit, the eyes of the people of surprise revealed a look of despair. And Lin Ray, who was in the midst of breaking through, did not hesitate at this moment. He operated his cultivation method, mobilized all the immortal chi, and began to break through the barrier of the celestial immortal. With a pop sound, a terrifying aura began to slowly rise. At this moment, Lin Ray could not remain calm. He did not use much strength. Lin Ray, who originally had a second wave of attack, looked at himself, who had entered the celestial immortal realm. For a moment, Lin Ray was stunned on the spot, not knowing what was going on. At this time, the people surrounding Lin Ray suddenly released the cultivation of the celestial immortal realm from Lin Ray's body, which made their hearts full of shock. Damn, no way. Soaking in this time to break through? Are you kidding me? At this time, everyone was stunned. They never thought that Lin Ray would break through at this time, and at this moment of life and death. Not only them, even Lin Ray himself did not know how he broke through. Lin Ray, who was immersed in it for a while, did not think much about it. He quickly operated his cultivation method to consolidate his current cultivation, and then opened his eyes. Phew. With a long sigh of relief, looking at the scene in front of him, Lin Ray was stunned. Previously, they were worried about him, but why did they do this? Looking at the people surrounding him and covering him tightly, Lin Ray was speechless. Hey, what are you doing? This sentence made everyone's body tremble. They turned around excitedly and looked at Lin Ray. You're finally awake. At this moment, this sentence was enough to represent everything. Because at this moment, his life was hanging by a thread. It was useless to talk too much. Looking at everyone's anxious eyes, Lin Ray knew that during his absence, something must have happened that made them anxious. And the only thing that could make them so anxious here was the formation. Standing up, he looked around. At this time, the blood fog was 1 meter away from them. It was so murderous that cold sweat broke out on their foreheads. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray was very glad that he woke up at this time. If he woke up a little later, he and this group of people in front of him, who were neither friends nor friends, would die together. However, since he woke up, and Lin Ray, who had just become a king stage formation master, was all this still a problem? The answer was, of course, no. Hee, I'm sorry. Everyone, I forgot about the time when I broke through. I'll take you to find your opportunities now. After saying that, he released his celestial stage cultivation and enveloped everyone. At the same time, he operated the devouring heaven spell and began to devour the blood fog that had drowned them, turning it into his own ability. Huff. 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 Chapter 330. Everyone did not understand Lin Ray's position. Of course, for them behind him, Lin Ray did not want to explain anything. At this time, Lin Ray was fulfilling his promise to them. He would bring them to the underground ancient ruins and bring them safely out of here. Of course, at this time, Lin Ray was most concerned about the array core of these tens of thousands of arrays. Was it a good thing or not? Along the way, some things were not very smooth, but it was still different from before he broke through to become an array master. At this time, Lin Ray would change direction after a few steps. Just like this, walking and walking, startling Dawn and the others who were following closely behind could not say anything and could only silently follow behind. After an unknown period of time, everyone knew that Lin Ray had broken through for a long time. Finally, at this time, Lin Ray in front of them stopped in place, not knowing what had happened. Brother Lin? Did something happen? Everyone was very puzzled, and at this time, startling Dawn asked the question that was on everyone's mind. Oh, nothing. You all wait here. I will go and break this trap array in front of us now. After saying that, the law body moved, and Linley disappeared from where he was standing. No one knew where he went, and the moment Linley disappeared, everyone panicked. Although Lin Ray's cultivation was not very high among them, Lin Ray's ability was enough to crush all of them. Startling Dawn, do you think Brother Lin will leave us behind this time? Yes, although we promised Brother Lin a lot of things, at that time, we did not know Brother Lin's identity as an alchemist. Do you think we? At this time, after Lin Ray disappeared for a while, Wan Yun Duo began to panic. Although they had made a promise that was difficult for others to refuse, but from the perspective of Lin Ray's identity as an alchemist, their promise was nothing. Because, with his identity as an alchemist, Lin Ray was not someone you all wanted to rope in. He could make a sect strong, but he could also make a sect decline. It was even more so for Jian Feng. After Lin Ray disappeared, he began to suspect that his promise to Lin Ray was too light. Ha! Ha ha ha. Wan Yunduo and Jian Feng were puzzled. They didn't understand what startled Dawn meant. You're underestimating Lin Ray too much. I got to know Lin Ray earlier than all of you. Although we didn't have much contact, Lin Ray is a person who keeps his promises. So, what you're worried about doesn't exist. Startled Dawn's words made Jian Feng and Jian Feng feel puzzled, but inexplicably more at ease. Swoosh. At this time, in the previous space, Lin Ray suddenly appeared. He looked around and his face revealed a smile. Heh, I didn't expect this to be the location of the array core. As he spoke, Lin Ray's eyes looked at an object floating in the middle of the space. Waves of energy were emitted from the object in the middle. At this time, Lin Ray's smile widened. Huh. Not bad at all. It looks like it's at the peak of the middle grade. Looking at the celestial artifact, Lin Ray walked towards it step by step. Step by step, he got closer and closer. When he was in front of it, Lin Ray saw the appearance of the celestial artifact clearly. It was a blue fan. Sigh. Although it's not my missing weapon, it's still a celestial artifact. Even if it's my prize in the future, it's still good. Maybe if I give it to you, she might be very happy. After making up his mind, Lin Ray did not hesitate. His celestial chi burst out and he reached out his hand to grab the blue fan. Bang! Just as he was about to trouble the fan, a sudden energy shield appeared and bounced Lin Ray's hand back. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't expect this array core to form a protective energy for the celestial artifact. It seems that I still underestimated this array core. Linley's temperament was that the more setbacks he faced, the more courageous he became. Once again, Linley used all of his power to reach out towards the fan. This time, Linley was determined to obtain it at all costs. Star Finger, one finger capturing heaven. He instantly used the star finger and blasted it towards the invisible energy shield, bringing with it a majestic pressure. Dong! Crack! The two types of energy collided. In an instant, cracks appeared on the energy shield. They became denser and denser until they finally broke. I thought it was more powerful. It seems that it's just a so-so. Looking at the broken energy shield, Lin Ray smiled disdainfully and reached out his hand to grab the blue fan-shaped celestial artifact. When he brought it forward, he saw the words, Water Ripple, written on the fan-shaped page. The words were majestic and gave people a sense of grandeur and tranquility. Not bad, really not bad. I didn't expect this fan to be so stable and invisible. It seems that it's really you, With her mischievous character, holding this fan might be a lot more stable. As he said that, Lin Rei held it in his hand and looked into the distance with a peaceful expression on his face. However, Lin Rei didn't notice that the surrounding array was slowly disappearing. A trapping array was easily broken by Lin Rei and a group of people slowly appeared. Lin Rei's figure also fell into the eyes of Startling Dawn and the others. Lin Rei? Not long after, the array disappeared and Lin Rei's figure was completely seen by everyone. Of course, the celestial artifact in Lin Rei's hand was no exception. Damn, Lin Rei, your fan is at least a middle-grade celestial artifact. At this moment, he walked forward and stared at the rippling water in Lin Lei's hands. He had a stunned expression on his face as he guessed what it was. Startling Dawn's words also pulled Lin Rei back from his peaceful state. Looking at the people in front of him, Lin Rei smiled and didn't say anything. Lin Lei's courteous smile instantly caused everyone present to not know what to say. Well, since the array is broken, let's go inside. We are now in the periphery. If we want to walk to the real entrance of the antiquity ruins, there should be some distance. So, in the future, you have to listen to me completely. If one of you takes a wrong step, the consequences will be unimaginable. Lin Rei's words were scattered, but part of it was true. Now that a corner of the array was broken, they didn't know what would happen next. However, the other part was the eye of the array. Although Lin Rei had a lot of celestial artifacts, who would complain about having more celestial artifacts? Besides, there were so many disciples in the Nine Heavens Xuanzong sect. Lin Rei felt that these things were not enough. Startling Dawn and the others, although they felt that there was something wrong with Lin Rei's words, they just didn't know what the problem was. However, looking at Lin Rei's serious expression, they couldn't help but believe his words and warnings. Well, don't worry. We know what's important. The three of us will keep Brother Lin's words in mind. Listening to the words of Startling Dawn and the others, Lin Rei nodded to show that he understood. As for the Bai sisters, Lin Rei was not worried at all. Because at this time, the Bai sisters were very obedient after eating the spirit-controlling pill. This was unquestionable. Simple, everyone agreed. Lin Rei began his journey of plundering celestial artifacts. He kept plundering the eye of the array all the way. Chapter 331. Humph, you shamelessly sneak-attacked me. Just because your cultivation is higher than mine? At this moment, in a mountain range on the western side of the Immortal Plain, a group of people who had been sent out by Lin Lei to do their training had been drenched in the rain. After traveling day and night, they had arrived at this place. Looking at the mountain range, they had wanted to go in and train, and at the same time increase their own power. That way, they would be able to survive in the Immortal Plain. Ever since she came out, she realized that the lower stage of Earth Immortal was the weakest cultivator in the Immortal Realm. In the sect, the most she could do was sweep the floor, even worse than sweeping the floor. Therefore, Lin Wanyu decided to enter the mountain to cultivate. However, she didn't expect that not long after she entered the mountain, she would encounter a group of shameless cultivators who wanted to rape her. How could Lin Wanyu tolerate this group of people? She was Lin Lei's precious treasure. However, upon sensing their level of cultivation, Lin Wanyu had wanted to leave as soon as possible. She hadn't expected that this group of people would be so shameless. Ha ha ha. Little girl, look at you. You're so beautiful. Why don't you be my cultivation companion? Maybe we can practice dual cultivation together. That way, our cultivation will improve faster. Yes. Yes, my big brother is right. At this time, the three of them looked at Lin Wanyu and flirted with her. Lin Wanyu was angry, but she did not dare to say anything. She did not know what to do. I. Lin Wanyu did not know what to do. She wanted to be angry, but when she saw that they were in the late stage of earthly immortal, she lost the courage to be angry. However, secretly, Lin Wanyu used her mind sense and used the communication device Lin Ray gave her. She sensed whether there were any Xuanzong sect disciples around her. In an instant, many bright spots appeared in her mind. They were all not far from here. Seeing this, Lin Wanyu was relieved and the tension on her face eased a lot. Instantly, a message for help and her address were sent out through the communication device. Oh, what? You're not resisting? Then we won't hold back. The eldest brother, who was also the one with the highest level of cultivation among the three, saw Lin Wanyu's silence, and in an instant, lust exploded in his heart. He communicated with his two younger brothers with his eyes, and then took the lead to walk towards Lin Wanyu. Seeing their actions, Lin Wanyu involuntarily retreated. At the same time, she also involuntarily used the dragon subduing step. In an instant, Lin Wanyu turned into an afterimage and disappeared before the eyes of the three people. Want to run? Brothers, chase after them. It was impossible for desperados like them to watch the fatty meat disappear just as it was about to reach their mouths. After calling out to his brothers, he exploded with his cultivation base and chased after Lin Wanyu. At the same time, Lin Wanyu's communication device had already informed all the Earth immortals around her. As soon as the jade slip was activated, they rushed towards Lin Wanyu's location. Just like that, one ran while the other chased. Another group of Xuanzong sect disciples was heading towards Lin Wanyu's location to meet up with her. Although the distance was not far, it was still the immortal realm after all. The vast area did not seem far, but it was actually very far away. Just like that, the chase continued for 2 days and 2 nights. The three people kept chasing after Lin Wanyu, unwilling to give up. After all, a beautiful woman like Lin Wanyu was rare even in the immortal realm. But for Lin Wanyu, who was only in the early stage of the Earth immortal realm, how could her immortal spiritual chi be richer than the 3 late-stage Earth immortal realm disciples? In the early morning of the 3rd day, Lin Wanyu's immortal spiritual chi was used up too much, so she stopped. When the 3 people saw Lin Wanyu's situation, they knew what was going on. They stopped with smiles on their faces and looked at Lin Wanyu, who was sitting on the ground and panting heavily. They said to her with evil looks on their faces. Let's see how you're going to run now. In the end, you still have to serve us 3 brothers. At this time, Lin Wanyu was completely helpless. When she saw the 6 evil hands touching her body, Lin Wanyu had already made up her mind. Even if she had to self-destruct, she would not let them have their way. Suddenly, a voice that shook the sky sounded. At this time, Lin Wanyu had the hope of survival again, and a happy smile appeared on her face. How dare you touch a disciple of the Xuanzong sect? I think the 3 of you don't want to live anymore. At this critical moment, more than 1,000 people came and surrounded the 3 people who were about to attack Lin Wanyu. The 3 people were scared out of their wits when they saw this scene. If there were only 3 or 5 of them, it would be fine. They were all in the late stage of the Earth immortal realm, so killing them was a piece of cake. But there were more than 1,000 people, and there were some in the middle stage and late stage of the Earth immortal realm. Facing such a large group of cultivators from the same sect, they were scared and regretful. Senior sister, are you all right? At this time, a few people came over and helped Lin Wanyu up from the ground. They asked her respectfully. I'm all right. Sorry to trouble you. Looking at the crowd, she knew that it was because of her message that caused thousands of people to follow her without rest for 2 days. She also attributed all of this to the 3 people in front of her who had been chasing her for 2 days and 2 nights. Senior sister, what are you talking about? You are the disciple of the sect leader. That is equivalent to our young sect leader. So, all of this is what we should do. In an instant, everyone looked at the 3 people with hatred. Thousands of eyes that wanted to kill them made the 3 people collapse at this moment. My God, when did such a sect appear? In their hearts, they were very regretful. If they had known this would happen, they would not have chased after her. But there was no medicine for regret in this world. Lin Wanyu sat down cross-legged and began to recover her immortal qi. After 2 hours, although she had only recovered 40% of her immortal qi, Lin Wanyu could not suppress the killing intent in her heart. She wanted to kill the 3 people in front of her immediately. She stood up and took out her weapon. She slowly walked to the 3 people who were sitting on the ground. Looking at them, Lin Wanyu did not hesitate and directly stabbed one of them with her sword. Puff! The sound made the 2 people feel a burst of fear. The 2 of them could not help but cry. I'm sorry, Mississippi. We were wrong. We were wrong. Please let us go. The moment they saw their brother die, the 2 people quickly knelt on the ground and begged Lin Wanyu. But everything was too late. Go to hell. Lin Wanyu had been influenced by Lin Rei since she was young. How could she leave any trouble for herself? Puff puff. She casually waved her sword and directly ended the 3 people's lives on the spot. Their vitality disappeared and they became cold corpses. Looking at the 3 dead people, Lin Wanyu did not have a trace of pity. She squatted down and began to search the things on their bodies. As the saying goes, kill and steal. After a while, 3 black storage rings were in Lin Wanyu's hand. Oh, this kind of thing is not even 1/10 of my storage ring? Although the storage rings were low level, Lin Wanyu was still very curious about the things inside the rings. Her divine sense instantly entered the storage rings. For the 3 people who had already died, the moment they died, the storage rings became ownerless. Therefore, the moment Lin Wanyu entered the storage rings, she was not stopped. When she entered the storage ring, she saw that it was only a few square meters of space. Lin Wanyu was instantly disappointed. Looking at the things in the storage ring, Lin Wanyu's eyes showed disdain. She withdrew her divine sense and entered the second storage ring. It was the same. However, when she entered the third storage ring, Lin Wanyu found that she was wrong. At this time, the things in the third storage ring were indeed very good. Just the inner cores of the demonic beasts were like a small mountain. It seemed that there were at least thousands of them. There were many unknown crystals next to it. There was also a bookshelf next to it. There were many cultivation methods and martial skills on it, and some miscellaneous travel notes. What made Lin Wanyu most confused was that in the storage ring, there was a separate desk. On the desk, there was something like a map. Huh? What is this? Looking at the runes on the map that she could not understand, Lin Wanyu was very confused. In the end, she really could not understand it, so she gave up and returned it to its original place. Her divine sense withdrew from the storage ring and returned to her body. Phew. I'm relieved. Lin Wanyu quickly thanked the thousands of junior brothers and sisters of the Xuanzong sect. Here, I, Lin Wanyu, thank you all for saving me. If it were not for you, I'm afraid that today I would have. Lin Wanyu did not continue speaking. However, when she spoke, her eyes still flashed with fear. Perhaps it was because the previous scene was still in her heart. Senior sister, you must be joking. You are the sect master's disciple and also our senior sister. How could we possibly leave you in the lurch? Furthermore, the sect master had said before that the members of the sect must be united. If we can't even do this, how could we still have the face to stay in the sect and become a disciple of the profound sect? At this point, Lin Wanyu did not say anything more. Instead, she bowed deeply. In her heart, her admiration for her master increased again. Well, since senior sister is fine, then we will leave first. However, for senior sister's safety, we have discussed and left behind 50 disciples for senior sister. There is no lack of disciples in the middle and late stage. When senior sister has the ability to protect herself, they will leave on their own. After listening to their words, Lin Wanyu, who originally wanted to decline, finally accepted their good intentions and left 50 people behind. The moment she agreed, the others disappeared and went to various places to continue their cultivation. As for Lin Wanyu, she led the 50 disciples towards the mountain range closest to them. Time passed in the blink of an eye. 4 years had passed in the blink of an eye. Brother Lin Ray, when can we enter the real ruins? We have been delayed here for a long time. At this time, in the underground tactical matrix of Jingqing City, Lin Ray took Startling Dawn and the others to wander around the tactical matrix for more than 4 years. They broke countless trap matrices and obtained countless matrix eyes. However, Startling Dawn and the others had been unwilling for a long time now. 2 years later, for some unknown reason, they found out that Linley had obtained many immortal artifacts while they hadn't. However, they couldn't say anything, and could only endure. However, there was a limit to how much they could endure. Finally, 4 years later, today, they exploded. Chapter 332. Ha! Sensing that their emotions were about to explode, Linley chuckled, then ignored them. Instead, he continued to walk forward by himself. In any case, there was nothing they could do to him. In addition, even if they did try to do something, Linley could easily abandon them and leave by himself, leaving them to fend for themselves within the Blood Spirit Heavenlock formation. As for Startling Dawn and the other two, they were very angry when they saw Lin Ray's attitude, but they couldn't do anything about it. It was as if their strength had hit cotton and was rebounded. In the end, they were the ones who were angry and anxious. No, Lin Ray, we've wasted enough time here. When are we going to reach the entrance to the ancient ruins that you mentioned? At this moment, Wan Yunduo, who was following closely behind, was the young mistress of a sect. How could she tolerate Linley? In the end, she couldn't help but explode. However, this gave Startling Dawn an opportunity to wait for the two of them to leave. He hurriedly looked at Linley, wanting to hear his explanation. Turning around and looking at the three, Lin Ray was also very uncomfortable. Just based on Wan Yunduo's words, Lin Ray had enough reason to leave them behind and leave alone. After all, he had already made his request. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about other things. I will send you to the ancient ruins soon. However, this is only limited to the ancient ruins. After that, we will go our separate ways. You go your way, and I go mine. From then on, we will be strangers. It's best if we don't speak when we see each other. This sentence directly separated the few of them after years of integration. At this moment, everyone regretted it. As for Lin Ray, after he finished speaking, he directly walked forward. Previously, he had sensed that they were infinitely close to the entrance of the ruins. However, Lin Ray didn't expect them to be so impatient. This was what disappointed Lin Ray the most. Sigh. Looks like we've made a mistake again. Once again, she had missed out on a true friendship with Linley. Not only was it Jing Xiao, even Wan Yunduo was regretting it. But there was nothing she could do. Since it had already happened, she had to bear the consequences herself. On the other side, although they were with Lin Ray, they had also entered this space. Among them were Hao Yu and the others, who were not on good terms with Lin Ray. At this time, they had already suffered countless casualties. Those who remained were lucky. They were all people with high cultivations. However, even if their cultivations were high, they still encountered countless difficulties. Fortunately, there were people among them who could decipher the formation. Although their levels were not high, they still managed to get close to the entrance of the real ruins. Hey, fellow Daoist Zhu Chenxi, how long do you think the entrance will take? We've been gone for such a long time, shouldn't you tell everyone about it? What's more, isn't your master the Array Emperor? You should be very relaxed about this array. Trick, everything was a trick. At this time, when Hao Yu spoke to Zhu Chenxi, he had already cut off his escape route. If she said that she didn't know, it would be a disgrace to her master. If she said that she knew, she really didn't know. She really didn't know. She only knew bits and pieces about this array formation. This was the first time she had seen it. Just follow me. If you don't want to follow, you can leave at any time. No one is forcing you. Obviously, when she heard Hao Yu's words, she was already unhappy. Oh, okay, we'll follow. At this time, Hao Yu was also very afraid that Zhu Chenxi would leave them behind without a word. At that time, they could only fend for themselves. Similarly, they were all formation masters, but Lin Rei was closer to the entrance than they were. Lin Rei, you have to speed up. I feel that this array has been done to the extreme. There should also be a formation master controlling this array at the same time, so you have to hurry up. As long as you control the two arrays in front of you, you can see the real entrance of the ruins. Although I can't stop you, I can still let you get benefits from the ruins. The sudden voice caused Lin Li's body to freeze in place. He didn't move at all, but a smile appeared on his face. The few people following behind saw Lin Rei's situation and didn't go forward to disturb him. Because of the previous incident, their relationship had fallen apart, and they didn't want it to worsen again. In his mind, Lin Rei was communicating with the little dragon with his mental strength. He said in a very excited tone, "AI. Little dragon, this is the best sentence you've said in so many years. As the system owner, I'm really touched." Lin Rei's demonic appearance made the little dragon appear at this time and give him a good beating. "Humph, don't say anything else, hurry up. Who asked your cultivation to be too low? No choice, I can only let you go in first. This way, I can let you get as much as possible." Sure enough, 3 sentences were not without sarcasm. This time, they didn't say much and started to argue with each other again. "Humph, I'm willing to have a low cultivation. Stop nagging, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'll enter the ruins first." With that, Lin Rei directly cut off the communication with the little dragon. He turned around and said to the few people behind him with a serious face, "You guys, there are 2 more arrays in the 1,000-face array and you'll see the entrance of the ruins. At that time, according to what we said before, we'll go our separate ways. Do you have to go back? Now that the array has been broken, it's no longer harmful to you guys. But, Brother Lin, As soon as Lin Rei finished his words, Wan Yunduo and Wan Yundua's faces revealed a difficult expression. Previously, they wanted to pull him back to the sect, but at this moment, it was completely shattered. Looking at Lin Rei's resolute attitude, they knew that no matter how they and the others tried to persuade him to stay, it would be useless. As for Lin Rei, after exhorting them, he walked forward alone. At this time, Lin Rei was different from before. He released his cultivation and quickly began to break the last 2 arrays. This time, Lin Rei really used all his strength. He was completely different from the lazy him before. Maybe it was because of the pressure. Maybe it was because he heard the little dragon say that there was another array master. At the same time, he had to break this array. Or maybe it was because of this. Boom! With a sound, one of the arrays was broken and the fairy weapon floated in the air. At this time, it was a silver sky piercer. At first glance, one could tell that it was not an ordinary item. The aura that leaked out from it was incomparably huge. Oh, a top-grade fairy weapon, not bad. Lin Rei stretched out his hand and grabbed the sky piercer. This time, the array core did not resist and was directly grabbed by Lin Rei. Silver Dragon? Holding the sky piercer in his hand, Lin Rei saw the 2 words, Silver Dragon, engraved on the spear shaft. At the back, looking at the fairy weapons in Lin Rei's hand, although the crowd was already numb, they still cared about the fairy weapons very much. Well, not bad, this fairy weapon is destined to be with me. Lin Rei, who was holding the sky piercer, said as he put it away, completely ignoring the doubtful and contemptuous eyes behind him. Damn, why don't you go to hell? Destined to be with you? It's obviously an ownerless weapon, how can you be so shameless? No way. How can this be? There are thousands of fairy weapons, all of them are destined to be with you. Why don't you go to hell? You actually added such shameless words to your shameless behavior. Obviously, at this time, after hearing Lin Ray's words, the three people of Startling Dawn had already cursed Lin Ray countless times in their hearts. They really did not expect Lin Ray to be so shameless. As for Lin Ray, it was as if he did not see or hear them at all. He directly left the place and walked toward the last formation. At this time, Lin Ray could faintly feel the dense immortal spiritual chi leaking out from the front. At the same time, Lin Ray also smelled the strong smell of blood. This was the kind of bloody smell that could make people think of killing and blood flowing like a river. Oh, it seems that as long as I break this formation, I can see the entrance to the ruins. After saying that, Lin Ray did not hesitate. He went directly to the last formation and began to break it. Heaven and earth only mind, all things see, formation I, open. At this time, after reciting the spell, Lin Ray's hands began to change the Taoist seal rapidly. As time went by, the speed became faster and faster, and finally, it was so fast that people could not see clearly. Break. Break! In an instant, Lin Ray's hands stopped making the Taoist seal. With a shout, he chopped at the formation in front of him. Bang! Nothing could be seen in front of him, but after Lin Ray's shout, the formation in front of him slowly began to dissipate. The formation eye floating in the center appeared in front of him. This formation eye was a bead, a transparent bead, but it gave people a soul-sucking feeling. Lin Ray's back involuntarily broke out in cold sweat. F***ck, what is this thing? It actually left me with such a feeling. Not only Lin Ray, but the 5 people of Startling Dawn, who were more serious than him, were even more exaggerated. At this time, they were already crying and looking at the formation eye in front of them with fear in their eyes. Lin Ray, be careful. This thing is really powerful. It has surpassed the best grade of fairy weapon and reached the level of semi-divine weapon. You have to use this thing carefully. It can make you lose your mind, and at the same time, it can stabilize your spirit. Anyway, there is no problem with using it properly. At this time, the little dragon, who knew that Lin Ray was in trouble, quickly appeared and answered Lin Ray's doubts. Okay, I know. After learning the level of the magic weapon, Lin Ray quickly went forward and grabbed the bead. Without stopping for a moment, and without any chance to see its function, Lin Ray stored it in the system and let the little dragon observe it. Whoosh, whoosh. The moment the formation eye was stored by Lin Ray, a cold wind with a heavy smell of blood and fairy spirit chi blew past Lin Ray's hair. A black hole appeared in front of Lin Ray, Startling Dawn, and the others. Chapter 333. Hiss. Suddenly, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. They stared blankly at the black hole in front of them. Everyone was stunned, except for Lin Ray, of course. Oh, this is the entrance to the Antiquity ruins? Looking at the entrance of the Black Midwinter Cave, the smell of blood, and the aura of immortal essence, Linley was able to prove that this was the case. Yes, that's right. There's everything you need to break through your realm: cultivation, physical body, and mental strength. As long as you get it, you'll be able to improve by several levels. Of course, apart from mental strength, you've just broken through and now you need to settle down. As for your cultivation, as the saying goes, more haste, less speed, you'll probably have to stay here for the next 100 years. What? At this moment, Lin Ray was stunned. After hearing the little dragon's words, he couldn't help but exclaim in disbelief. Yes, don't doubt me. Your cultivation is so low that you don't have any friends in the immortal realm. So, stay here for 100 years. When your cultivation has improved and you have the ability to protect yourself, you can go out and fight to consolidate your cultivation. After receiving the little dragon's confirmation, Lin Ray's heart slowly accepted the little dragon's words. 100 years? He stared blankly ahead and couldn't help but mumble such a sentence. Okay, don't be in a daze. Hurry up and go in. I've already sensed another aura that's slowly approaching here. If you don't want to die here, hurry up and enter the ruins without any hesitation. This sentence pulled Lin Ray back to reality from his daze. At this time, Lin Ray completely accepted the little dragon's words. Okay, I know. Don't worry, isn't it just 100 years? In 100 years, with the help of the time difference of the heaven and earth bell, I believe that I'll be able to improve to the level you want to see. As he spoke, Lin Ray's eyes shone with confidence and his tone was even more unwavering. This made the little dragon very gratified. Okay, I believe you can do it. Besides, you still have me, the most handsome guy in Hongmeng, helping you. If you can't do it, I'll find a piece of tofu and kill myself. As soon as the little dragon finished speaking, the atmosphere suddenly turned cold, and no one spoke. Cough. That, you go ahead with your work. I'll go back first. While I'm at it, I'll sense if there's any danger here. All right then. After saying that, the little dragon disappeared. Lin Ray also recovered from his shock. He turned around and looked at Startling Dawn's group of 3, who were filled with excitement. He sighed inwardly. In terms of cultivation, we can consider ourselves parted ways. Everyone, the mountains will not change and the rivers will continue to flow. Let us never meet again. Bye sisters, come with me. He cupped his hands toward Startling Dawn and the others. After saying goodbye to the Bye sisters, he led them towards the entrance of the cave. Brother Lin, why don't you come with us? This way, we can take care of each other. Startling Dawn really didn't want to give up on Lin Ray's attempt to rope him in. He could only give it one last try. Whether or not he could succeed was up to fate. Forget it. Let's just go our separate ways. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't say another word. He directly turned around and went to the entrance. He jumped into the ruins and disappeared. Sigh. We missed the opportunity. It seems that the next time we meet Brother Lin, it might be different. Yeah. Maybe we've lost a strong person who could reach the pinnacle in the future. TSK, he knows how to refine pills and break formations. Although I don't know if he's a formation master or not, I always feel that there are many mysterious things about him. And I always feel that we're climbing up his social ladder. I really don't understand. Looking at the entrance of the cave where Lin Ray disappeared, everyone sighed. Their faces were filled with disappointment. Sigh. Forget it, let's not think about it. Anyway, we'll meet again in the future. Since that's the case, let's not waste time and hurry into the ruins. At this time, Startling Dawn was the first to recover from the shock of Lin Ray's departure and hurriedly said to the 2 beside him. Bang! Just as Startling Dawn and the others were about to enter the ruins, a loud sound beside them attracted their attention. Ha ha ha, finally out. Before the person appeared, the sound arrived first. The moment Startling Dawn heard the laughter, he rolled his eyes and revealed a helpless expression. This idiot always appears with his own sound effects. I really don't know if he's an idiot or just an idiot. Looking at the broken formation beside them, a beautiful figure walked out from it. At a glance, she noticed Startling Dawn and the others who were already standing at the entrance. She immediately looked over in surprise. Oh! The Formation Emperor's disciple is indeed extraordinary. You've arrived here so quickly. After all, they were all descendants of the top sects in the immortal realm. The moment they saw the woman, they knew her identity and greeted her. I'm Startling Dawn, Wan Yun Duo, Jian Feng. Greetings, Miss Chenxi. Of course, out of courtesy, Zhu Chenxi also nodded slightly to greet them. Hello, I'm Zhu Chenxi. Greetings. Then, the person who had laughed walked out. Seeing Startling Dawn who had already arrived, he was unconvinced for a moment. Startling Dawn, I didn't expect you to arrive here one step ahead of me. You're really lucky. But don't worry, I'll definitely surpass you in the future. Oh, how you, don't talk nonsense. Wait until you've really surpassed me. What you're saying now is at most a fart. You. Hearing startling Dawn's words, how you didn't say anything. The words that he wanted to say were also swallowed back. He felt as uncomfortable as if he had eaten ***. Brother Startling Dawn, may I ask how you got here? As far as I know, the level of this formation should be above the Emperor level. Even my master can't set up such a formation. Startling Dawn didn't want to say this at first, but after all, the other party was a formation master that everyone wanted to rope in. At this time, Lin Ray was not here, so Startling Dawn was moved by compassion. To tell you the truth, someone did bring us here. As for his name, it's not convenient for me to say. But he said that this formation is called the Blood Spirit Sky Ceiling Formation. Indeed, only the formation master at the Emperor level could barely set it up. Of course, it was also that person who brought us here. What? The Blood Spirit Sky Ceiling Formation. Startling Dawn's words shocked Zhu Chenxi. The reason was very simple. It was because she was shocked that the mysterious person mentioned by Startling Dawn knew this formation. It should be known that even her master, the Formation Emperor, didn't dare to say the name of this formation with certainty. Now, an unknown person knew it and came here faster than she could solve it. She couldn't accept this. At the same time, a humble and studious mood emerged in her heart. Then, Brother Startling Dawn, do you know where that person is now? I wonder if you can introduce me to him. Startling Dawn, who thought that it was nothing, suddenly began to suspect Lin Ray's strength after hearing Zhu Chenxi's excited and urgent words. Miss Chenxi. I'm very willing to serve you. However, after that person brought us out, he jumped into the ruins. Just as we were about to go in, you came. What, someone went in? Just as he finished speaking, before Zhu Chenxi could speak, Hao Yu's loud and clear voice was heard. Hearing this, Zhu Chenxi, who was standing beside him, frowned and showed an expression of disapproval. Sigh. That's a pity. We can only wait for the future. However, if Brother Startling Dawn sees that person, please mention my request. I hope that the senior can meet me. Startling Dawn was secretly delighted when he heard Zhu Chenxi's words. However, Hao Yu, who was beside him, was unhappy. Miss Chenxi, why don't we also enter the ruins to explore? Who knows, we might even find our own opportunities. Hao Yu wanted to say something but was interrupted by Startling Dawn, who invited him to enter the ruins together. Okay. Zhu Chenxi didn't hesitate and agreed readily. Perhaps a large part of the reason was because of Lin Ray. Hao Yu, who was beside her, was even more unwilling. He quickly jumped out and threatened her. Zhu Chenxi, don't forget that our two families have been friends for generations. Don't tell me you. What about it? Let me tell you, don't threaten me here. If you don't accept it, you can go to Enchanting Mountain Sect to seek revenge. You can call anyone. Even if you call your father, Enchanting Mountain Sect won't be afraid. Let's go, Brother Startling Dawn. Zhu Chenxi, who had been dissatisfied with Hao Yu for a long time, exploded the moment she heard Hao Yu's threat. She didn't care if her family or sect went to challenge them. As soon as Zhu Chenxi's words came out, Hao Yu, who had a firm attitude, instantly softened like a deflated balloon. Zhu Chenxi said to Startling Dawn and jumped into the ruins with him. Wan Yunduo and Jian Feng, who were traveling with them, also followed them into the ruins. The moment Zhu Chenxi disappeared, Hao Yu didn't want to be left out. He led a group of people and jumped into the ruins. Then, one after another, the rest of the people also entered the ruins. Huff huff huff, damn, how long will it take to enter the ruins? It's been so long and it's still descending. The person who was descending was Lin Ray, who was the first to enter the ruins. However, the moment he entered the ruins, he found out that the ruins were actually located underground. They had already descended for 1,000 meters and were still descending. Lin Ray also felt that the lower they descended, the stronger the immortal qi and the smell of blood. There was even a kind of evil blood qi. Lin Rei wasn't sure if this kind of energy was the evil blood qi that startling Dawn mentioned, but Lin Rei could feel the corrosiveness of the evil blood qi. Practitioners below the Xian immortal realm couldn't resist the corrosion of this evil blood qi. If it weren't for Lin Rei's extraordinary physical body and the support of the devouring heaven spell, Lin Rei would have died long ago. Slowly, time passed, bit by bit. After a while, the descending Linley finally landed on the ground. His heart instantly calmed down. Chapter 334. Lin Rei, be careful. There are a lot of things here that you can't solve with your current ability, so when we reach the place, I will remind you. But, for the rest of the journey, you have to listen to me. After standing firm, Lin Rei scanned the pitch-black surroundings. At this time, Lin Rei discovered that although the entrance was very narrow, the place they were at now was very spacious. Even if everyone outside was here, there would still be space. And the little dragon's words made Lin Rei cautious. Of course, the little dragon's reminder was the main reason. There was also a part of it that Lin Rei felt a sense of panic that he had never felt before. He always felt flustered in his heart, but he couldn't put his finger on it. Yes, I know, don't worry. With you, the most handsome person in Hongmeng, there's nothing for me to be afraid of. After listening to Lin Rei's words, the little dragon was embarrassed. With a blush on her face, the little dragon, who was aware of her strangeness, quickly disappeared and secretly commanded. Be careful, maybe the trouble is already here. Just as he was about to ask the little dragon what she meant, there was a movement at the entrance above them. Oh, I didn't expect you guys to be so fast. The entrance above them, apart from the arrival of those people, there was no other reason. With a vigilant look, he walked to the side and looked at the people who were coming. Dong dong dong. In the blink of an eye, the four of them arrived at the place where Lin Rei had descended. However, at this time, the four of them seemed to have not figured out the situation. They looked around at a loss and were surprised. Damn, what is this place? There's actually such a place underground. At this time, Wan Yunduo, who loved to ask questions, observed for a long time but didn't find anything and asked her companions. However, this question was like a stone sinking into the sea. No one answered for her. Just as she was wondering what was going on, a voice behind her woke her up. Brother Lin Rei? I didn't think we'd meet again. At this moment, startling Dawn, who was the first to see Lin Rei, was so shocked that he cried out. Zhu Chenxi, who was standing at the side, did not know what was going on either. She knew that every single one of these people were ordinary people, and they were all descendants of top sections. However, at this moment, they were so surprised and respectful towards a person who was only at the early stage of the heaven immortal realm. Brother Lin Rei, I didn't think that we would meet again. It seems that fate runs deep between us. Following which, Jian Feng waited for the two of them to wake up from their daze and greeted them. Oh, that's right. We meet again. A simple sentence was enough to prove that the relationship between them was not that good. Actually, they had long since guessed Linley's attitude. However, no matter what, in their hearts, there was not a moment when they didn't want to recruit such a genius. Humph. Isn't he just an early-stage heavenly immortal ant? Seeing how nervous all of you are, I was wondering who it was. Suddenly, an uncoordinated voice broke the peaceful scene between them. Humph. How you, shut up. I'm telling you, if you speak ill of Brother Lin like this again, you'd better be careful. Don't forget that our sects are at the same level. How you, what they said is what I want to say. If you speak ill of Brother Lin again, don't blame us for being rude. This sudden situation stunned everyone present. They really could not imagine that it was worth it to go against a top sect for a practitioner at the early stage of the heaven immortal realm. After Hao Yu's arrival, more and more people came here one after another. When they saw this scene again, they voluntarily retreated and did not want to get involved in such a thing. Of course, even Linley himself was stunned. He didn't expect Startling Dawn and the other two to do this. After all, he had already separated from them. Even if it was the promise from before, Linley didn't intend to use it here. Smoke filled the air. The whole bottom of the cave had become a scene where there was no war. Unknowingly, the top sects had shed all pretense of cordiality for a heaven immortal. Oh, that's enough. Lin Ray did not want to care about such a scene, but his time was limited. Therefore, he could only laugh out loud and solve all this. How you, remember, life is full of ups and downs. Don't bully a poor young man. I'll make you pay for what you've done today and in the past. Lin Ray did not want to point out what How Yu had done, but this person was shameless. Although Lin Ray was a troublemaker, he was a person who was afraid of trouble. If it really came to that, Lin Ray did not mind killing him. As for the sect and the ancestor behind him, no one knew what would happen until the end. As for you guys, thank you for standing up for me. Let's take the previous agreement as an offset for standing up for me today. With that, Lin Ray did not say anything more to them. Instead, he turned around and walked into the depths of the ruins. Oh, by the way, it's very dangerous inside. You have to be careful. Seeing that they had defended him, Lin Ray gave them a warning before he left. Then, he disappeared at the entrance of the ruins. Don't bully a poor young man. Oh, what an interesting little guy. Zhu Chenxi, who had been silent all this while, could not help but mutter Lin Ray's words after hearing Lin Ray's warning. For a moment, a feeling of curiosity sprouted in her heart. Sigh. Finally, things have eased up a lot. If they meet in the future, they won't ignore it. At this moment, Startling Dawn and the other two smiled after hearing Lin Ray's warning. As for the conditions mentioned by Lin Ray, they did not think that the conditions would disappear just by moving their mouths. How you, this is the last time I'm warning you. If I hear you bad-mouthing Lin Ray again, don't blame me for being impolite. If you don't believe me, you can try. At this moment, Startling Dawn was furious. For the sake of Lin Ray, a future powerhouse, he was willing to fall out with the sect that he had been friends with for many years. With that, Startling Dawn and Zhu Chenxi followed closely behind Lin Ray. After they entered the ruins, Hao Yu suppressed the anger in his heart and had a solution at this moment. His face was ferocious, his eyes were ruthless, and his body was full of murderous intent. He was like a ferocious beast in human form. Startling Dawn, Lin Ray, Wan Yunduo, Jian Feng, and you, Zhu Chenxi, just you wait. Sooner or later, I'll kill all of you. And you, Zhu Chenxi, how dare you disrespect me? See how I'll deal with you in the future. Although Hao Yu was furious, he did not forget why he had come here in the first place. After venting his anger, Hao Yu regained his composure and led his subordinates back to the ruins. Chapter 335. At this time, the outermost entrance of the ruins finally regained its peace. Lin Ray, who was the first to enter, had already followed the route that the little dragon had given him and advanced quickly, leaving the others behind. Moreover, Linley believed that even if they used their skills, they might not be able to catch up to him. After all, he was someone with a cheater. Xiaolong, what do you think is in here? Why is there so much blood qi? At this time, Lin Ray, who was on the way to the real ruins, could not help but ask the little dragon when he felt the thick blood qi in the surroundings. Well, I'll tell you about this place. Listening to the little dragon, he seemed to know how this place was formed. Moreover, his tone was very vicissitudes of life, completely different from the little dragon from before. It was as if he was a different person. This place is the ancient battlefield of the gods and demons. The blood qi here is created by the gods and demons who did not want to die by themselves, using their own blood and obsessions. At that time, the two races were fighting over the immortal realm, a place with abundant resources. They did not hesitate to use all their strength and finally invited a few experts from the holy world. Speaking of this, Lin Rei felt as if the little dragon had really participated in that battle. At that time, when their battle was known to the higher realms, Pang Ran was furious and sent a group of people to the lower realm to punish the gods and demons and the people from the holy world. However, saints were saints after all. They were fine, but they were forbidden to step out of the holy world. As for the gods and demons, they were all killed here. This place can be said to be a treasure land, a real treasure land. When he said this, the little dragon's eyes shone with a very wretched look. In an instant, the image that Lin Rei had just established in his heart was shattered into pieces. TSK, I thought that you had really experienced this. I didn't expect that in the end, it was really a treasure land. Although Lin Rei said so, his heart was already blooming with joy. After all, this treasure land would be his in the end. How could he not be excited at the thought of being able to increase his cultivation? Alright, let's cut the crap. After all, this place was sealed by the people of that domain, so you have to be careful everywhere. Not far ahead is the sealed door. Remember, we can only pass through the seal at the speed of our scanning. If we don't pass through, then you don't exist. The little dragon, who knew about this secret realm, had no choice but to tell him about the dangers ahead. After all, opportunities and dangers existed together. If there was an opportunity, there would definitely be power. This was an eternal principle. Oh, I got it. Hearing the little dragon's nonchalant reply, the little dragon really wanted to come out and slap him to death. No matter what, this was the ancient battlefield of gods and demons. How could he be so nonchalant and nonchalant? You. Fine. Keep going forward, and there won't be any danger on this part of the journey. Don't worry. After saying that, the little dragon's voice automatically blocked Lin Rei's words and entered the system. It did not appear again. The little dragon's sudden situation caught Lin Rei off guard. Although they had been together for so long, he was still not used to it. What's wrong with it? Really? Ignoring it, he directly followed the little dragon's instructions and used the dragon subduing step to rush forward. At the back, it was not so easy for them at this time. After all, they did not have the little dragon. Sigh. Although there are good treasures here and it's the ruins of a very powerful expert, it seems that we have no chance of obtaining the opportunity here. At this time, Zhu Chenxi, who was with Startling Dawn, looked ahead with a grave expression. The blood qi was getting thicker and thicker. She was very unwilling but had no choice but to give up. At this time, Startling Dawn and the other two were frowning. Their facial expressions were uncoordinated at this moment. It was as if they were determined to obtain this opportunity. The outcome was right in front of them, but they could not obtain it. This made him very unhappy. If he had known earlier, he would have entered with the Lin Rei brothers. If he was here, he should be able to resist the blood qi here. Perhaps they could enter the real ruins. At this time, Jian Feng, who was unwilling to give up, could not help but speak. His tone was full of disappointment, regret, and unwillingness. Lin Rei? That person from before? At this time, when he heard that person's name again and heard that that person could resist the blood qi, his curiosity about Lin Rei grew even stronger. At this time, hearing Zhu Chenxi's words, Startling Dawn did not know how to answer. However, it was difficult for him to choose between his teammates and the only array master. Yes, it's him. Didn't you ask who the person who led us to break the formation was? It's the person who quarreled with Hao Yu before. Boom. This time, Zhu Chenxi was in a mess. She did not know how to describe her feelings at this time. Previously, she had never imagined that the celestial immortal ant was actually an array master. Moreover, he was such a powerful array master. For a moment, she regretted it. Wan Yunduo did not bother Startling Dawn. She directly revealed the matter about Lin Ray. Why didn't you say so earlier? Why did you only tell me such an important thing now? The sudden anxiety made startling Dawn and the others feel very helpless. Wasn't this matter very obvious? None of them had expected Zhu Chenxi to be so stupid. Of course, such words could not be said out loud. They could only keep it to themselves. Well, we didn't know you didn't know. We thought you knew, so we didn't tell you. However, it's too late to say anything now. Lin Ray has already entered. Startling Dawn was not afraid anymore. However, he was still very curious about Lin Ray's ability to enter. Of course, he was most curious about the opportunities and treasures in the ruins. Is this really the end? Huff, huff. I'm so tired. At this time, in front of a huge bronze door, Lin Ray bent over and gasped for breath. The sweat on his face kept flowing down. He did not know that Startling Dawn and the others had stopped outside. At this moment, he was very angry at the little dragon. They said they would be there in a while, but they were actually so far away. Dong, dong, dong. Just when Lin Ray was about to curse the little dragon, melodious and loud bell sounds faintly entered Lin Ray's ears. Bell sounds? Why would there be bell sounds here? As soon as he heard the sound of the bell, Lin Li's tiredness instantly vanished. He straightened his back and raised his head to look at the 100-meter-tall bronze door in front of him. A bronze door that exuded an ancient aura that made one want to worship it. On both sides of the bronze door were engraved two evil beasts that Lin Ray had never seen before. Judging from their appearance, they were definitely not ordinary creatures. Dong, dong, dong. The bell sounds rang again. This time, Lin Ray heard it clearly. At the same time, he was sure that the bell sounds came from behind the bronze door. Awoo. Awoo. The bell sounds became louder and louder. At this time, the two unknown fierce beasts on the bronze door appeared. They looked at Lin Ray and wanted to tear Lin Ray into pieces. Humph, go away. How dare you be so presumptuous in front of me? Do you really think I'm made of clay? The moment the fierce beasts appeared, Lin Ray felt that although they had some energy, they were not impossible to deal with. Combined with the previous situation, Lin Ray knew that these phantom beasts were activated by the melodious bell sounds. Heavenly Devil cut the sky. In an instant, the fire stream of 10,000 Law's sword appeared in his hand, and he used the Sky Devil slash. Black Devil Chi turned into a black longsword that broke free from the fire stream of 10,000 Law's sword and rushed towards the two beasts. The two black swords, with a murderous aura, arrived in front of the two fierce beasts in an instant. They passed through them without any hindrance and hit the bronze door. However, the two fierce beasts of the phantom beasts rushed toward Lin Ray as if nothing had happened to them. How could this be? Lin Ray was very puzzled. It was reasonable to say that the devil chi of the devil realm should be the best thing to restrain the phantom beasts, but now, Lin Ray did not understand what was going on, but for the phantom beasts that rushed in front of him, Lin Ray panicked. Poof, the sound of flesh being pierced entered Lin Ray's ears. At the same time, it was accompanied by a painful feeling. Hiss. The pain was getting more and more intense. This time, Lin Ray was even more confused. Lin Ray had always been very confident in his immortal artifact body, but now he was injured by the phantom beasts in front of him. Moreover, it was the body that he had always been proud of that was injured. However, the phantom beasts did not stop because of Lin Ray's pain. In the blink of an eye, the phantom beasts that succeeded turned around and rushed toward Lin Ray again. This time, Lin Ray could feel the murderous aura, a suffocating murderous aura. Not good. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray was stunned for a moment. Learning from the previous Lin Ray, how could he let the phantom beasts run into him again? Looking at the moment when the phantom beasts rushed toward him, Lin Ray instantly launched the dragon subduing step. At this time, the phantom beasts also arrived in front of him. When it was about to fall into the enemy's hands, Lin Rei narrowly avoided it. However, he still encountered it. A few purple hairs were cut off by the claws of the phantom beasts. Huff. Huff, damn, what the hell is this thing? It's so strong that it almost cut my head off. Lin Rei, who almost died, breathed a sigh of relief. He was very glad that he was able to avoid the attack. However, before he could catch his breath, the phantom beasts attacked again. I say, Linley, are you an idiot? This phantom beasts is activated by the bell. As long as you guard your beer and shut off your 5 senses, it will be fine. Then, the phantom beasts will be defeated by itself. Aya, my heart. Yes. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei did not hesitate and directly followed the little dragon's words. He closed his 5 senses and guarded his beer. In an instant, the claws of the phantom beasts had already reached his head. At the moment when he closed his senses, the phantom beasts in front of him disappeared. Chapter 336. Everything returned to normal. The melodious sound of the bell could no longer be heard, and the phantom had also disappeared. At this moment, Lin Rei's whole body was covered in sweat from the scene just now. Phew. Bending over, Lu Qing panted heavily. His eyes widened, and a look of panic flashed across his eyes. This time, Lin Rei really gambled with his life. If he didn't succeed, he would die for a righteous cause. However, in the end, Lin Rei gambled correctly. He gambled correctly. The environment disappeared, and everything returned to normal. Hee hee, how was it? Didn't I tell you? Listen to me. This thing is just a mechanism. As long as you hear the sound of the bell, the phantom will start. Moreover, as long as the phantom is stained with a little blood, it will go crazy. But as long as you break it in time, it will be fine. With laughter, the little dragon's voice gradually approached until the voice lingered in his ears. Lin Rei raised his head. The little dragon was above his head, looking down at him. However, at the moment when Lin Rei didn't raise his head, the little dragon's eyes flashed with a trace of worry. Of course, it was only for a moment, and it disappeared in a flash. Oh, okay, don't talk about me. I know this time I didn't handle things calmly. It won't happen again. Knowing the little dragon's meaning, Lin Rei quickly promised because he believed that as long as he didn't say so, the little dragon would nag endlessly. Ah. Seeing that Lin Rei was so energetic, the little dragon didn't look at him anymore. Instead, it turned to look at the bronze door. Looking at the 100-meter-high bronze door, the little dragon's expression became dignified. Sigh. It seems that this time I have to consume the energy. Since I want to get the energy inside, I have to pay the price first. Looking at the bronze door, the little dragon couldn't help but mutter in its heart. The expression on its face became more dignified. This scene fell into Lin Rei's eyes, and for a moment, he was in a dilemma. Tisk, will this be difficult for the little dragon? He doesn't have a physical body, if. Thinking of this, Lin Rei wanted to go forward and stop them. However, just as Lin Rei wanted to stop them, it was already too late. A shocking spiritual force exploded. Bang! The instant the little dragon's soul force exploded, the instant the remnant waves of the soul force touched Lin Rei's entire body abruptly flew backwards. At the same time, Lin Rei, who had personally experienced it, was very surprised. He didn't know that the little dragon had such great power. However, Lin Rei was very happy because his brother, friend, or even master had such power. Lin Rei was very happy. Cough, cough. Although it was just the remnant waves of the soul force, Lin Rei was also slightly affected. After flying back 100 meters, the remnant waves dissipated. Lin Rei directly soared into the air, did a 360-degree turn, and safely and perfectly landed on the ground. The moment Lin Rei landed, he couldn't help but look in the direction of the little dragon. Wow! Suddenly, his mouth opened wide, and his eyes widened. He looked forward as if he had never seen the world. At this time, the little dragon was quickly forming seals. One by one, ancient symbols appeared around the little dragon, and Lin Rei didn't know what kind of symbols and words appeared around the little dragon's body, revolving around it. At this time, the little dragon was no longer the same as before. At this time, the little dragon was full of a noble and inviolable aura, as if a deity had arrived, making people want to kneel down and worship it. Ugh! Feeling this scene, Lin Rei was already kneeling on the ground with one leg. At this time, Lin Rei regained consciousness and quickly stood up. Damn, little dragon, just you wait. In a while, when you recover, I'll let you act all pretentious in front of me, and now you want me to kneel. Fortunately, I have a strong will. Otherwise, I would have fallen into your trap today. Although he said that, would he really go back? The answer was, of course, no. Everything the little dragon did was for him, so how could he really go back? Alright, kid, don't just stand there. With my current energy, I can only hold on for 5 breaths. After that, this bronze door will instantly close. If you want to open it again, only the celestial lords of this world have the ability to do so. Oh, okay. He had been observing the little dragon. When he heard the little dragon's words, he activated the dragon subduing step and arrived beside the little dragon in an instant. You! How could this be? At this time, Lin Rei, who had arrived beside the little dragon, looked at him. His breath was weak and his face was full of wrinkles, but his eyes were firm, which made Lin Rei feel a little incredulous. In Lin Rei's consciousness, the little dragon had never shown this side of him, unless, Lin Rei, who seemed to have thought of something, instantly arrived in front of the little dragon. While stopping the little dragon's actions, he roared at him. Bastard, are you crazy? You're originally a spiritual body, but you're burning your soul. Do you know that this will hurt your origin? Tears quietly flowed down Lin Rei's cheeks, and his actions became even crazier. He used all his cultivation, but in the end, Lin Rei was disappointed. He used all his strength, but he couldn't even break through a strand of energy. Ah. The powerless Lin Rei roared at the sky. At this time, Lin Rei hated himself very much. He hated that he didn't have the strength, hated that he didn't have the ability to stop the little dragon. He hated everything here. Hee, boy, it's not easy. You're even crying for me. Phew. I'm satisfied to have you in this life. But you should retreat first and prepare. After we pass this stage, you can use the weapon spirits of other top divine artifacts or immortal artifacts to replenish me. At that time, my strength will be restored and even stronger. At this time, the little dragon looked at Lin Rei, who seemed to have gone crazy, and shed tears for himself. The little dragon felt that it was all worth it. He didn't regret it. Of course, as the system's weapon spirit, how could it disappear? The little dragon was very clear about this. But now that Lin Rei was like this, how could the little dragon not seize this opportunity to urge Lin Rei to cultivate and give him some difficult things to do to improve his cultivation faster? It was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Why not? Really, you? Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei retreated to the side doubtfully and confirmed with the little dragon. Yes, that's right. Once this matter is over, you should be able to let the mysterious sect appear in the world. At that time, you can find me a weapon spirit and bless me for my recovery. At the same time, when I recover or level up, the system will be able to unlock new things. Perhaps you'll be surprised by that time. Finally, after getting the little dragon's confirmation, Lin Rei did a calculation and activated his celestial spiritual chi. He was ready to use the dragon subduing step. Everything was ready and waiting for the little dragon's order. 6 directions. Tianhuang curse, open for me. Boom, boom. Lin Li let out a furious roar, and a very small rune seal flew out from Xiaolong's palm, directly attacking the 100-meter-wide door. Suddenly, a huge sound rang out. Rumble, rumble. For a moment, the whole mystery realm, including the place where Lin Rei was at, shook as if an earth dragon had turned over. Quick, quick, the bounded domain is about to be broken. Hurry, it'll be too late. Whoosh. As soon as the little dragon finished speaking, how could Lin Rei, who was prepared, pay such a big price to open the bounded domain? What if the little dragon didn't come back? A shadow laughed and disappeared. In the blink of an eye, the little dragon had broken through the bounded domain and entered the iron gate. A moment, just a moment. Not to mention 5 breaths, it didn't even take 1 breath. Oh, this kid. Looking at the little dragon who had entered the bronze gate, he smiled and then disappeared. The moment the little dragon disappeared, everything returned to normal. Chapter 337. Phew, phew. What should we do? We are too late. If we had known earlier, we would have used that thing earlier. Then we wouldn't have lost brother Lin Rei. Humph, you have the nerve to say that. We asked you to use it to resist the evil blood qi. What did you say? You said it belonged to your ancestor. Now you regret it. Long after Linley had entered through the copper door, 2 men and 2 women came running to the copper door, panting heavily. When they saw the copper door open, they couldn't stay calm any longer and began to complain to each other. Oh, stop quarreling. Look, there are footprints here. It proves that Lin Rei has been here. It's only a matter of time before we find him. Just when they were quarreling, one of the women came to the bronze door. When she saw the messy footsteps, she was delighted. She quickly turned around and said to the quarreling people. Oh. Really? Hearing the woman's words, the other 3 stopped quarreling. They hurried to the place the woman said and found it was true. Ha ha ha, Zhu Chenxi is indeed Zhu Chenxi. You are really extraordinary. We owe you a lot along the way. These 4 people were startling Dawn, Wan Yunduo, Jian Feng, and Zhu Chenxi, who wanted to give up when they encountered the evil blood qi. Originally, they had no way of moving forward. In the end, startling Dawn was unwilling to give up. He could only take out the treasure given to him by the ancestor of his clan and bring the 4 of them here. He originally thought that he could catch up with Linley, but he still hit a wall here. Alas. You flatter us. All this is thanks to young Master Startling Dawn. If it weren't for your treasure, I'm afraid we would have been out by now. How could we come here and find clues about Lin Rei? Damn, that's enough. Stop flattering each other. Let's see how to go in first. There is only one way here. Brother Lin Rei must go through the bronze door. At this time, Wan Yunduo couldn't stand it anymore. She quickly brought up the news about Lin Rei to attract their attention. Needless to say, this trick really did work. As soon as the 2 of them heard Linley's name, their noses covered their mouths as they began to seriously ponder. Dong, dong, dong. A melodious and simple sound of a bell slowly rang out, lingering in the ears of the 4 people, unable to be dismissed. What's going on? Why is there a bell ringing here? At this time, Zhu Chenxi, who was the first to hear it, immediately felt that something was wrong after hearing the bell. She quickly said to everyone. Sure enough, there really is a bell. At this time, Jian Feng heard Zhu Chenxi's words and listened carefully. Sure enough, following the sound of the bell, Jian Feng slowly came to the bronze door and placed his ear on it to listen carefully. Hey, the bell came from behind the bronze door. However, Lin Rei, who had already entered the bronze door, did not expect that they would also come here. Damn, this is not a place for cultivation. This is obviously a Shura battlefield, this is it. Originally, he was full of expectations, thinking that there was a pure land behind the bronze door. But who would have thought that the moment Lin Ray came in, he panicked. At this time, in front of Lin Ray was a place stained with blood. The smell of blood was so strong that it choked his nose. Not only that, but there was also the evil blood chi that the practitioners outside were most afraid of. There was not a single place that was not there. Not only that, but after seeing this Azura land again, the scene of the ancient war of gods and demons vaguely appeared in his mind, the scene of mutual slaughter. Hee, how is it? Do you feel that I said too little back then? It's a little different from what I said before, right? At this time, the old voice entered Lin Ray's ears. For a moment, Lin Ray was not used to it. The ground here is stained red by the blood of the gods and devils? Staring at the scene before him, Linley's weapon began to tremble. This was because, in this place, there weren't just these things. Even more than that, there were the wills, obsessions, and even pressure of those fiend gods who were unwilling to die. No matter what, they are already dead. As for the pressure and wills, they can be used to train you. Not only that, you can use the evil blood chi here to convert it into immortal spiritual energy. In such a large place, you will need at least 10 or 20 sides to digest it. When the time comes, when you have used up all the treasures here, I will take you to another place. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Ray did not refute. Instead, he thought that it was true. Here, he could train his will and use the devouring heaven spell to increase his cultivation. It was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, I got it. After saying that, Lin Ray did not say anything else. He directly walked towards the Shura land. Chapter 338. Tap, tap, tap. It looked easy, but in fact, it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Although the blood chi in front of him was very tempting, Lin Ray took a step forward. However, the moment he took the first step, Lin Ray's body froze in place. Sweat flowed down his cheeks and dripped to the ground. After calming down for a while, he finally reached the second step. This was truly a difficult step to take. Damn, it's not easy for me to cultivate in the middle of the battlefield of gods and devils. Seeing the difficulties, Lin Ray was not discouraged. Instead, he became more energetic. Nonsense. This was the battlefield of fiend gods in the past. Look at the red color here. You should know that it's all fiend gods' blood. There's also the remnant pressure and divine sense. Do you think you're stronger than fiend gods? This sentence made Lin Ray feel as uncomfortable as if he had been beaten. He did not expect that the little dragon, who was so weak that he could not speak, would still tease him at this time. Okay. I know. I'll work hard to cultivate. It's just divine sense pressure. Don't worry. After talking to the little dragon, Lin Ray's eyes became firm. He sat down cross-legged and looked as if he had no intention of going forward. I don't believe it. I'll cultivate step by step. Isn't it just an incomplete god and devil? I don't believe it. Lin Ray, who was full of unwillingness, closed his eyes and used the devouring heaven spell. A terrifying suction force was emitted from Lin Ray's body. Suddenly, the blood chi within 100 miles broke free from control and began to gather madly around Lin Ray. Devour, the beginning of all things. The stars, the moon, everything can be devoured. Devouring heaven spell, devour. Boom. A muffled sound came from Lin Ray's body. In an instant, not only the evil blood chi, but also the spirit consciousness in the air began to rush toward Lin Ray crazily. At this moment it was as if everything in the entire fiend god battlefield was centered around Linley, and it became restless. No matter what it was, whether it was the baleful aura, the divine sense, the pressure, everything. Who? Awesome. Come on, all of you. At this time, Lin Ray's face was filled with excitement. His eyes were closed, and the corners of his mouth were slightly raised. A terrifying aura began to fuse within Lin Rei's body. Lin Rei doesn't care about anything else when he feels this aura. At this moment, there are only two words in Lin Rei's mind: cultivation. Everything in the outside world has nothing to do with him. Just like that, Lin Li quietly trained. At this time, the people of Startling Dawn in the outside world had already been tormented by the dire beasts to the point where they couldn't even begin to speak. Puff! Startling Dawn, who was lying on the ground, spat out a mouthful of blood. In an instant, his face became even paler. Chensi, what the hell is this? At this time, the people really had no choice. In the battle, they knew that only the phantom could hit them, but they couldn't even touch the phantom. Cough, this, may be an illusory formation, but I still don't know how to break it. Zhu Chensi, who was also lying on the ground, looked haggard. When she heard Jingxiao's question, she immediately expressed her opinion. However, it was a pity that even as a formation master, she had not found the key to deciphering the formation. No way. If it goes on like this, Yunduo will die here. Jian Feng, who was on the other side, suddenly felt embarrassed when he heard their words. At this time, Wan Yunduo had already fainted on the spot. Her abdomen seemed to have been scratched by the phantom, and blood was constantly flowing out. Alas, don't panic. Let's think about it together. This phantom ominous beast has a trigger mechanism. My mind is in a mess now. Hurry up and think about it. Did anything strange happen when we came here? Looking at the appearance of her own group, Zhu Chensi really couldn't think of anything in this situation. Her mind was blank, and she said to Startling Dawn anxiously. After all, there was strength in numbers. However, the reality was always cruel. Even if they wanted to calm down and think about it, the phantom ominous beast would not let them go. Humph, you ants dare to break into the divine demon realm. You are really courting death. Since you are stubborn, then die, all of you die. They originally wanted to calm down and think about it, but when they heard the phantom speak human language, and the phantom ominous beast at this time seemed to be more powerful than before. Seeing this scene, everyone panicked. They couldn't defeat the phantom ominous beast before, and now it was even more powerful. Could they be its opponent? The answer, of course, was no. Startling Dawn, who was lying on the ground, saw this scene. Without thinking, he decisively took out something similar to an egg and threw it over his head. Then, his hands began to quickly form a seal, and his mouth muttered. Water shield, open for me. Poof! A mouthful of blood was sprayed toward the golden ball above his head. Swish! The moment the blood touched the golden light, a golden light shield instantly wrapped Startling Dawn. Chensi, you quickly find a way to break the formation. Leave him to me. I will try to buy you some time. With a bang, a long sword appeared in Startling Dawn's hand in an instant. As soon as his feet touched the ground, he instantly appeared in the same place and rushed toward the phantom beast that was also rushing toward him. Whoosh! Bang! This time, it was obviously a little different. The three figures collided in an instant. This time, it was obvious that Startling Dawn and the two ominous beasts collided. It was not like before, when he directly passed through the two ominous beasts and could not hurt them. Ha 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 ha. A hearty laugh came from Startling Dawn's mouth. When the sober people on the ground saw this scene, they did not pay much attention to it, but focused on the key to breaking the formation. What is it? What is it that activates them? What is it? As a formation master, Zhu Chensi had been very fond of formations since she was a child. Every time she saw a particularly difficult formation, she would study it without eating or drinking until she cracked it. At this moment, Zhu Chensi was in the same situation. She tried to figure out what had activated the two ferocious beasts, but she could not think of any key points in the illusory formation. At this time, after Startling Dawn could make contact with the ominous beasts, he began to fight back frantically. After all, he was an expert at the genuine immortal realm. At this time, he vented all the humiliation he had received before. In the sky, startling dawn was fighting with the two phantom ominous beasts, while Jian Feng, on the ground, was also thinking about the point of breaking the formation with a worried face. Dong, dong, dong. At this time, a bell sound faintly came into Jian Feng's ears. For a moment, he seemed to have thought of something and quickly shouted to Zhu Chenxi next to him. Chenxi, is it the bell sound? If we don't hear the bell sound, will the ominous beasts disappear? Oh. That's right. Jian Feng's voice directly pointed out the key point of the formation. After hearing Jian Feng's words, Zhu Chenxi sighed and said to herself. Alas. It seems that after I get out of here this time, I have to learn from my grandpa for hundreds of years. Although she was very ashamed at this moment, now was not the time. Zhu Chenxi, who was secretly sad, came to her senses in an instant and quickly said to everyone. Everyone, quickly seal your hearing and close your eyes. In this way, the two ominous beasts will disappear. Zhu Chenxi's words came into everyone's ears. In an instant, when they heard Zhu Chenxi's words, everyone did as she said. But they seemed to have forgotten one person. At this time, Wan Yunduo, who was lying on the ground in a coma for a long time, had not sealed her divine senses. Quick, Jian Feng, quickly seal Yunduo's ears with immortal spiritual qi. Try not to let her hear the bell sound. After doing all this, Zhu Chenxi, who had noticed Wan Yunduo, mentioned it to Jian Feng. Oh, okay. Jian Feng reacted quickly. The moment he heard Zhu Chenxi's words, he began to act. A stream of immortal spiritual qi went directly into Wan Yunduo's ears and sealed her hearing. Whoosh! After everyone had done all this, the bell sound stopped. Then, the ominous beasts of the phantom spirit obviously disappeared. Ha ha ha, finally, we are saved at last. They, who had experienced danger and life and death, jumped up happily. Although they could not hear each other's words at this time, they did not need to think to know the general meaning of their words. The excited startling Dawn walked towards the bronze door. On the way, he gathered all his cultivation on his palm. When he reached the bronze door, he slapped it on the bronze door. Bang! Bang! The bronze door made a loud noise. Suddenly, a golden light was emitted from the bronze door and passed into Startling Dawn's arm. In an instant, Startling Dawn, who had just touched the bronze door, was bounced far away. Whoosh! Startling Dawn, who had been bounced off by the bronze door, fell to the ground smoothly. Puff! Startling Dawn spat out a mouthful of blood. Startling Dawn, who was originally as pale as a sheet of paper, was now even more dispirited. It was as if any earthly immortal could pinch him to death with one finger. Cough, cough, damn, what the hell is this? Startling Dawn's 5 viscera were trembling and his eyes were damaged. If he was not treated in time, it was likely that the future of his cultivation would be unimaginable. Oh, Startling Dawn, let me do it this time. Previously, you blocked the ominous beasts to buy time, and Jian Feng figured out the key to breaking the formation. Well, let me do it this time. But you have to go in quickly. I don't know how long I can last. At this time, after seeing Startling Dawn fall to the ground, Zhu Chenxi hurried forward and said to Startling Dawn. Then, she came to the bronze door. Fortunately, I have a lot of treasures with my grandpa before. Otherwise, would have been in trouble today. In front of the bronze door, a transparent bead appeared in Zhu Chenxi's hand the moment it appeared. She threw it at the bronze door and shouted to them at the same time. Hurry up, everyone, follow me in. This formation-breaking bead can only last for a short while. Everyone must move quickly, or we will be powerless. They had been ready for a long time. The moment Zhu Chenxi reminded them, they disappeared on the spot. Bang! The moment the formation-breaking bead touched the bronze door, a whirlpool appeared instantly. At the same time, the two of them went into the whirlpool instantly. After a few breaths, the whirlpool merged together again. The whirlpool disappeared and everything returned to normal. Whoosh! At this time, a whirlpool appeared on the other side of the bronze door. Startling Dawn and the others rushed out of the whirlpool in an instant. Fortunately, they rushed out in time. If they were a moment later, they would have to stay in the bronze door forever. Chapter 339. It was a dangerous situation. In this moment of life and death, everyone should be able to trust each other and become friends. This is really dangerous. I'm afraid this is the most dangerous day of my life. Jingxiao thought about his previous life and found it tasteless. But at this moment, he found it very exciting. It was totally different from his previous life. Yes, that's not all. Did you notice that although we were on the brink of death before, your cultivation base and realm have improved greatly? Jian Feng, who was next to him, sensed the increase in cultivation and released his realm of true immortality, which enveloped them and made them feel it personally. As expected. Hearing Jian Feng's words, everyone hastily sensed their own cultivation bases. Apart from their own cultivation bases, everyone's cultivation bases and realms had improved significantly in this moment of life and death. It wasn't just a little bit, but a great deal. Even their combat experience had increased by a great deal. This was real wealth, a treasure trove. It was something that no one could snatch away. However, although they were happy about the improvement of their cultivation, they fell silent when they saw Wan Yunduo lying next to them. Alas! With a sigh, Jingxiao stepped forward and stuffed the elixir into Wan Yunduo's mouth. The elixir melted in her mouth and instantly merged with the cloud. The elixir reacted as soon as it entered her mouth. She thought she would have to wait for a long time. The wounds on her body were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Brother Jingxiao, how many of these elixirs do you have? Can you give me half of them? I'll give you as much money as you want. Hearing Zhu Chenxi's words, Jian Feng, who had seen the effect of the elixir, also leaned over. His eyes were shining as if he had to sell her the elixir. Actually. I don't have a lot, but this is given by Brother Lin Rei. You can go. Damn, it can't be so coincidental. Startling Dawn, who was in the midst of politely declining the offer, glanced ahead with a look of astonishment on his face. What's wrong? When Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi saw startled Dawn's reaction, they immediately followed his gaze. What they saw in front of them was a sea of blood red. It was simply a red space. The smell of blood assailed their nostrils, and from time to time, scenes of slaughter flashed before their eyes. Most importantly, they saw Lin Rei, who they had been chasing relentlessly, sitting there and devouring the baleful blood aura that terrified them. What the F***ck, is he trying to kill himself? So much blood chi, to think that. At this moment, they felt that it was inconceivable. Although Jian Feng knew that Lin Rei was able to absorb blood chi, compared to now, it was like a spark of fire, incomparable. At this moment, the murderous aura was so dense that it could even form liquid. Moreover, the murderous aura around Lin Rei soared to the sky. They believed that they would never forget this day for the rest of their lives. What should we do? The murderous aura is so dense, we can only wait here. We can't go out, and we can't go forward. Are we going to be trapped here? Seeing this scene, they were helpless. They also wanted to sit there and cultivate like Lin Rei, but they knew that they did not have the ability to do so. Hey, Lin Rei, your friends from before are here. Do you want to stop and take a look? At this moment, the little dragon reminded Lin Rei, who was cultivating. The moment they entered, the little dragon sensed them. Hearing Xiaolong's warning, Lin Li reluctantly stopped his training and opened his eyes, a look of reluctance on his face. Humph, so troublesome. Lin Ray, who was cultivating, was at a critical moment and was about to break through the level barrier. Suddenly, the little dragon's words made Lin Ray stop cultivating. This made Lin Ray unhappy. With a swoosh, Lin Ray stood up and looked at the 4 people smiling at the bronze door. Lin Ray regained his composure and walked towards them. You guys are here too. These words made them all feel a bit embarrassed, especially startling Dawn. He lowered his head in shame and embarrassment, not daring to look at Linley. May I ask if you are the senior who brought Startling Dawn and the others to break the Blood Spirit Sky-Sealing Great Array? Startling Dawn and the others did not speak, but Zhu Chenxi impatiently stepped forward and bowed to Lin Ray, respectfully asking. You are? Lin Ray was a little uncomfortable with the sudden appearance of this little girl. But from her words, it seemed that she had come because of his formation. Well, yes, I don't like this fellow Taoist. Is there anything? Although they did not know each other, Lin Ray still knew the basic respect. As the saying goes, one does not hit a smiling face. Senior, where did you learn the name of this formation? Even my grandfather, the Formation Emperor, did not have all the information about this formation. You are. Humph, ignorant. So what if I'm the Formation Emperor? What's wrong with me knowing it? Lin Ray was already angry because of their interruption. He did not expect to be looked down upon by others. What, your grandfather is the Formation Emperor? Then I am the Formation Emperor. Brother Lin Ray, calm down. She just wants to study the formation. She doesn't have any bad intentions. Don't take it seriously. Feeling the anger in Lin Ray's voice, Startling Dawn quickly came out to smooth things over. Well, I don't care how you came here. But the thing that practitioners are most afraid of is being disturbed when they are practicing. What happened just now was the first time. Similarly, I don't want such a thing to happen again. Even if you are all experts in the realm of true immortality, you have to believe that I have 10,000 ways to kill you. With that, Lin Ray came to Wan Yinduo and squatted down. A strand of immortal spirit chi entered Wan Yinduo's body to sense her injury. Well, it's nothing serious. She just suffered a physical and mental setback. Previously, she was attacked by the fierce beast of Phantom, which caused her to lose too much blood. With that, a medicine bottle appeared in Lin Ray's hand. The moment he opened it, a medicinal fragrance filled their nerves. The previous pain was alleviated a lot at this moment. After taking out a red pill the size of a longan fruit and stuffing it into Wan Yinduo's body, Lin Ray did not have time to disturb them. Instead, he returned to the place where he practiced before and sat down cross-legged to practice. When Startling Dawn saw this, he felt helpless. However, there was more envy in his helplessness than helplessness. He could actually practice in such a dense evil blood chi. Alas. Let's wait. Sensing their expressions, Lin Ray did not say anything. Instead, he quietly practiced. However, what Startling Dawn did not know was that they had been tricked by Lin Ray. Chapter 340. After the first transition, 5 years had passed. Linley had been training non-stop in the Fiend God battlefield, tirelessly devouring the terrifying baleful aura of blood to increase his own strength. In these 5 years, Linley had been constantly gaining insights into his realm, improving his physical body, and improving his divine sense. Although his spiritual energy was somewhat refreshing, overall, his cultivation base and realm were still decent. After absorbing some residual spiritual sense, Lin Ray comprehended many realms from it. Yes, Lin Ray's cultivation had soared from a celestial immortal to the peak of the golden immortal realm. As for his cultivation base, it increased tremendously as well. When it came to the advancement of one's cultivation base, it was just a matter of time. Amidst the dense baleful blood energy, Linley's cultivation base rose from the celestial immortal realm to the Xian immortal realm. The same went for Linley's fleshly body. His fleshly body improved very quickly as well. With the addition of the pressure, Linley felt as though he was cultivating under 50 times the pressure. Time passed quietly in Lin Ray's tireless cultivation. Startling Dawn and the others, who had been watching Lin Ray and observing Lin Ray's cultivation, were even more surprised. Although they often cultivated in seclusion, it was impossible for them to cultivate in such an environment. As for Wan Yunduo, she woke up from her coma the day after Lin Ray fed her the elixir. Perhaps because she was too nervous and tired, she could have woken up at any time, but it took her such a long time. Startling Dawn and the others watched Linley cultivate and didn't disturb him. Instead, they carefully observed Linley's progress. As for them, they weren't idle either. In these 5 years, their Taoist arts, cultivation bases, and realms had all increased. Their understanding of the Tao had also deepened. However, the passage of time was always able to wear down a person's spirit. After staying here for a few years, their patience gradually disappeared. At first, they became impatient and finally, irritable. However, because Linley had told them not to disturb his training, they could only keep it in their hearts and did not say it out loud. However, such a thing had gradually caused them to develop inner demons. Finally, after 5 years, it finally exploded. Jian Feng, what's wrong with you? You can't be defeated by your inner demons. You still have relatives, family, and friends. They're all waiting for you to come back. You can't let anything happen to you. His inner demon had appeared a long time ago. Originally, he thought that he could still hold on for a while, but he was wrong. While he was cultivating, his inner demon suddenly erupted. Ha ha ha, family? Friends? Ha, all of you can go to hell. Since he's such a coward, why don't I become him and use his body to roam the immortal realm and prove to him that he's the strongest? For some unknown reason, Jian Feng's inner demon was so strong that even Jian Feng himself could not suppress it. It directly burst out. With a devilish smile, he said to Wan Yunduo. You. In an instant, the moment they noticed that something was wrong with Jian Feng, everyone retreated and distanced themselves from him. Humph, Tendo is reincarnated. Evil creature, get out of my body. As someone who had gone through life and death with Jian Feng had long become his friend. Therefore, when he saw that Jian Feng had been eroded by his inner demon, he was furious because he would not allow his friend to be tarnished by something that lived in the dark. Oh, Tendo is reincarnated? Ha ha ha. At this moment, Jian Feng, who had been eroded by his inner demon, could not help but sneer at Startling Dawn's words. Tendo is reincarnated. But here, I'm Tendo. Jian Feng must listen to me. For so many years, in order to suppress me, he did not hesitate to shake his own foundation. Tell me, how can I let go of such an opportunity? The inner demon's words made everyone understand what was going on. It turned out that the inner demon did not appear suddenly, but had been suppressed by Jian Feng's cultivation and his own traces. However, over time, Jian Feng could not make ends meet, which led to the current situation. Hearing the inner demon's words, Startling Dawn and the others were filled with guilt. They had never noticed Jian Feng's abnormality. This was their incompetence as good friends. Humph, cut the crap. Let's fight. Today, even if I have to risk my primordial spirit, I'll destroy you from Jian Feng's body. As he spoke, Startling Dawn and the others moved. They quickly took out their magic weapons and began to rush toward Jian Feng, who had been eroded by the inner demon. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Startling Dawn was the first to move. His swordsmanship was incomparably sharp and fast. His body movement was even faster. In an instant, he came to Jian Feng's side. The hilt of his sword, which carried all the immortal spiritual chi of his cultivation, was pressed against Jian Feng's back. At this time, Wan Yunduo and Zhu Chenxi also moved at the same time as Startling Dawn. However, Zhu Chenxi used her hand to point at Jian Feng's chest, while Wan Yunduo used her long whip to press against Jian Feng's glabella. The three of them operated their cultivation methods at the same time in order to force the inner demon out of Jian Feng's body. Humph, you guys are really scheming. To think that you would use such a method to force me out. Heh, it's just that your calculations are wrong. Suddenly, a terrifying immortal spiritual qi burst out from Jian Feng's body. The huge amount of spiritual qi surprised startling Dawn and the others, and they were directly sent flying. Bam! 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 The three of them flew out in a parabola and fell directly to the ground. Puff! The three of them each spat out a mouthful of blood, and their faces instantly turned pale. At this time, the three of them were terrified and looked in disbelief at Jian Feng, who had been eroded by the inner demon. How is this possible? How can he have such a powerful ability to cancel out our attacks at the same time and injure the three of us? No, it's impossible, he definitely. At this time, Wan Yunduo had just spoken half of her sentence when she stopped. She could not continue the second half of her sentence. Her eyes were fixed in front of her as Jian Feng walked toward her. Today, all of you will die here. As he spoke, Jian Feng arrived in front of her and a cold light pierced toward her. Sigh. It seems that I'm really going to die here. Looking at the injured people lying on the ground and unable to fight back, Wan Yunduo closed her eyes in despair and waited for death to come. The cold light was originally close to her and could kill her in the blink of an eye. However, after a long time, she still did not feel any pain. Therefore, Wan Yunduo opened her eyes and saw Lin Rei, who had been cultivating, standing in front of her. He held a red long sword in his hand and looked like a deity. His purple hair was unforgettable. Lin Rei's figure was completely imprinted in Wan Yunduo's heart and could not be erased. Chapter 341. Are you alright? At this moment, Linley's flaming stream 10,000 spells sword had blocked Jian Feng's long sword. He turned his head to look at Wan Yunduo and asked in an indifferent tone. Yes. Well, thank you for saving me. Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, Wan Yunduo's heart began to beat wildly. Her face turned red instantly. She wanted to know the feeling of a red apple that made people want to take a bite out of it. When everyone saw Wan Yunduo's appearance, they were stunned and didn't know what to say. Well, you'd better get out of here quickly. Jian Feng's inner demon is very powerful. I'm afraid he'll hurt you. As he spoke, Linley turned around. His face was solemn as he became serious. Previously, Lin Rei had been cultivating when he suddenly heard the little dragon's message saying that someone had turned into a demon and that the lives of the others were in danger. Hearing this, Lin Rei couldn't sit still. He had wanted to give them the cold shoulder and then give them some benefits. He wanted to take this opportunity to recruit them as disciples of the Xuanzong Sect. He hadn't expected such a thing to happen. Lin Rei, don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you're awesome. Today, I'll let you die first. I'll let you know that you're not the only powerful one in this world. When Demonheart saw Linley, he was momentarily stunned. Then, he came to his senses, and a savage look appeared on his face as he boasted wildly towards Linley. Oh. Is that so? Then let's see who will have the last laugh. Hearing Jian Feng's words, Linley's interest was piqued. 5 years of training had caused his bones to become rusty. Furthermore, he could take advantage of this opportunity to practice and solidify his cultivation base. Take this. Ha! At this moment, Lin Rei's eyes were full of fighting spirit. At this moment, he didn't just want to stop Jian Feng. He wanted to have a real fight with Jian Feng. Sky Devil Slash, first cleave the firmament. Immediately, Lin Rei used the Devil Race's Heavenly Devil Slash. Immediately, Devil Chi surged, and Lin Rei's sword was freely swung by Lin Rei. It was as if the sword and the sword had become one. Slash. As he spoke, an ink-black sword chi shot out from the fire stream 10,000 Law's sword and slashed towards the sword. How is this possible? Demonic chi and immortal chi can coexist? How is this possible? No, I must be seeing things. Yes, I was wrong. I'm afraid you didn't see wrongly. Perhaps Lin Rei's body can really allow devil chi and immortal chi to coexist. That's right. If that's the case, then it means that the immortal and devil chi coexist. Perhaps in the future, when it truly rises, it will be an existence that leads everything. At this moment, Jing Xiao, Zhu Chenxi, and Wan Yunduo, who were standing at the side, were in disbelief when they saw Lin Rei use devil chi. Everyone had their own opinions. They didn't expect Lin Rei to have a way to coexist immortal chi and devil chi. They didn't dare to believe it, nor did they want to believe it. However, all of this had become a reality. So what if it's devil chi? I'll still crush you like a dog and destroy your soul. Looking at the sword chi that was coming towards him, Jian Feng's face was solemn. He held a 3-foot-long cold sword in his hand. It was his family's sword art. Art of the great Tao of creation, the first slash of the towering heaven sword art. The sword chi that followed Lin Rei's words burst out and attacked Lin Rei's sword chi. Boom! The moment the two sword chis collided, a terrifying aftershock spread out in all directions. Fortunately, there were no cultivators with low cultivation levels here. Otherwise, the two of them would have been blown away by the aftershock. Oh, I didn't expect you to be so powerful. You're the first person I've seen to be able to reach the Xian immortal realm in 5 years. However, do you think you can defeat me with just this? At this moment, after the two sword chis had cancelled each other out, Jian Feng's inner demon said to Lin Rei in disdain. However, although Lin Rei looked fine on the surface, he was actually injured. It was just that he didn't lose the battle. Just you wait. This is just the beginning. Once he said it, there was nothing that Lin Rei couldn't do. With that, Lin Rei prepared to attack. However, just as he was about to attack, Lin Rei stopped in his tracks. Lin Rei, are you crazy? You didn't know that his cultivation level was lower than mine. Moreover, didn't you see his inner demon suppressing me? You think you can do it? Do you think you're his helper? The old voice echoed in Lin Rei's mind. Lin Rei wanted to refute, but the little dragon was right. He wasn't his opponent. Although you're not his opponent, you have the illusory spirit blood fire. The illusory spirit blood fire is specialized in restraining evil things. Inner demons belong to the category of evil. As long as you wrap Jian Feng with the illusory spirit blood fire, his inner demon will gradually be burned away by the blood fire. Nothing will be left. Whap! Hearing Xiaolong's words, Lin Li slapped himself on the forehead, muttering to himself, how could I have forgotten about it? Really? Obviously, Lin Rei knew what to do now. Thank you, little dragon. After saying that, Lin Rei's expression returned to normal. His face revealed a sense of confidence that he didn't have before. At this time, after hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei had enough confidence to subdue Jian Feng, who was born with an inner demon. Could it be that this kid's personality has changed? Right now, Xiaolong's face was filled with delight as he thought about Lin Li's thank you. If he had known earlier, Lin Li wouldn't have said thank you to him often. How could he not be excited? Jian Feng, die. Isn't it just an inner demon? See if I don't burn you to ashes. Boom! After roaring angrily at the sword, a blood-red ball of flame appeared in Lin Li's hands. Suddenly, the surrounding flames began to rise in temperature. What's going on? Why do I feel like my soul is trembling? Yes, we all feel it too. The moment the illusory spirit blood fire appeared, the souls of Jing Xiao and the others began to tremble uncontrollably and rushed out of their bodies. At the same time, Jian Feng was also the same, not to mention Jian Feng, who was born with an inner demon. How can you have such a thing? At this time, Jian Feng spoke with a trembling voice. His eyes were filled with fear, as if he was very scared. Die. He didn't waste any words. Right now, what Linley wanted to do was to end this battle as quickly as possible. He didn't want to drag this out any longer. With a boom, the illusory spirit blood fire seemed to have locked onto Jian Feng. No matter how many Jian Feng had, he couldn't escape the tracking of the illusory spirit blood fire in Lin Rei's hand. You will die a horrible death. A scream came from Jian Feng's mouth. At this time, the illusory spirit blood fire had surrounded Jian Feng and began to refine his inner demon. F***ck, this is too cool. If only I could have this kind of flame, that would be great. Chapter 342. A miserable howl came out of Jian Feng's mouth. It lasted for a long time. Jian Feng's cry caused the surrounding people to feel their hair stand on end and their hair to stand on end. Wan Yunduo couldn't bear to see Jian Feng in such pain. She walked to Lin Rei and asked, "Brother Lin Rei, look, this." Wan Yunduo didn't continue because she saw Lin Rei's murderous eyes. She didn't know what to say. Not only Wan Yunduo, but also Jing Xiao and Zhu Chenxi. They had never seen such a murderous look. How could they not be afraid? This went on for a long time. Finally, Jian Feng's cries of agony began to weaken. As soon as this happened, Linley began to carefully observe. He knew the power of the illusory spirit blood fire. The most important purpose this time was to eliminate Jian Feng's inner demon. He didn't want to burn Jian Feng to death. Oh. Thank you, Brother Lin Rei. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid I would have been devoured by the inner demon. The sudden voice made everyone overjoyed, because their good friend's consciousness had returned. Of course, Linley, in particular, was the happiest. Another item was gone, and he could openly recruit them. Why wouldn't he kill two birds with one stone? Oh, it's okay. It's good that you're fine. Wait for a while. I'll take back the blood fire. Then you can clean up the remaining inner demon. Lin Rei increased the intensity of the blood fire. In an instant, the blood fire burned faster and faster. Jian Feng's consciousness also became clearer. Finally, after 2 hours, Lin Rei could no longer feel the evil qi on Jian Feng. He quickly took back the blood fire to avoid accidentally hurting Jian Feng. It would be bad if that happened. Phew. Well, you can meditate and cultivate by yourself. Lin Rei said to Jian Feng as he instantly withdrew his blood flames. He then sat down cross-legged and began to recover. The people beside them just looked at them quietly, not saying a word. Time passed little by little. When the sword edge was cleaning up the remaining devil qi, it was inevitable that it would hurt a little. However, danger and opportunity coexisted. This was an indisputable fact. The moment his inner demon was destroyed, Jian Feng could feel that he was about to break through. He was overjoyed. Just as he was about to break through, Lin Rei's voice entered his ears. If you want to break through, then break through. Don't blame me for not telling you. Your Taoist foundation is not stable at all. If you want to be possessed again, I won't stop you. That one sentence caused Jian Feng, who was excited because he was about to break through, to be startled. A terrifying expression appeared on his face. His eyes were filled with fear, and sweat flowed down his forehead. After learning that he had broken through the crisis, Jian Feng opened his eyes and stood up. He bowed to Lin Rei and thanked him. Thank you, Brother Lin Rei. If it weren't for you, I fear today I would have. As for the conversation between Lin Rei and Jian Feng, the other three simply didn't know of it. Thus, they didn't say anything. Alright, you can continue to wait. I'm going to cultivate. As he spoke, Lin Rei pretended to walk towards the land of divinity and demons. As he turned around, Lin Rei began to count. 1 2 3 4 5. Brother Lin Rei, please wait a moment. We have something to say. In an instant, Lin Rei, who had just counted to 5, revealed a smile. As he turned around, he put away his smile and asked them with a serious expression. I wonder, what matter do you all have? As Lin Rei spoke, he was extremely excited. This was because the fish had finally taken the bait. We've already waited here for 5 years. I wonder how much longer we will have to wait. Hearing their question, Lin Rei answered without hesitation, in these 5 years, if nothing unexpected happens, we should be able to leave this place and head to the next cultivation area in about 20 years. What, 20 years? As Lin Rei finished speaking, Startling Dawn cried out in alarm. Her eyes were filled with disbelief and helplessness. That's right. The divine sense here is strong and the pressure here is incredible. There is also an extremely rich blood infernal energy. With such a good cultivation area, wouldn't it be a waste if we didn't make use of it? Lin Rei's words caused everyone to reveal bitter expressions. In their hearts, they thought, you can absorb the blood infernal energy here, but we can't. You've cultivated here for 20 years, but we can't wait here for you for 20 years. Although they could cultivate here, the immortal spiritual energy here was not pure. Cultivating here for 20 years was, at most, half a year outside. Of course, they could only think about this in their hearts. It was inappropriate for them to say it out loud. Well, Brother Lin Rei, you see, we can't leave this place. We can only wait here and can't cultivate. I know my request is unreasonable, but can you teach us the way to absorb the blood infernal energy? Startling Dawn's words were exactly what Wan Yunduo, Jian Feng, and Zhu Chenxi were thinking. The moment Startling Dawn spoke, they looked at Lin Rei with eyes full of expectation. This. Lin Rei, who looked embarrassed, was very happy. However, in order not to believe their doubts, he thought for a while before replying, actually, it's not that I can't teach you. It's just that I only teach this cultivation method to people in my sect. You're not from my sect, so. Lin Rei's embarrassed expression was seen by Startling Dawn and the others. However, they were more curious about the sect he mentioned. Since there was such a monstrous person and cultivation method in his sect, it must not be a nameless sect. Oh, may I ask what's the name of Brother Lin's sect? Where is it stationed? What rank is it? A series of questions were asked, but Lin Rei could only understand 2 of them. Since they had asked, Lin Rei did not hide it. Oh, compared to your sect, my sect is like a mouse compared to an elephant. There's no comparison. I'm afraid you'll laugh at me if I tell you. Damn, Lin Rei, have some shame. Since you want to take them in, just be straightforward. There's no need to be so wishy-washy like a woman. It's so annoying. Suddenly, as soon as Lin Rei finished speaking, the little dragon's disdainful voice came out. In an instant, Lin Rei rolled his eyes at him and let him experience it himself. When Startling Dawn heard Lin Rei's words, he hurriedly said with shame, alas. Brother Lin Rei, please don't say that. Since your sect has such a magical and profound method of delivery, why would I belittle it like that? However, although we're disciples of big sects, we've fallen into such a situation. We're really ashamed. Alas. Well, since you want to know, I'll tell you. Looking at them, Lin Rei did not hide it and told them directly. My sect is called Ninth Heaven Xuanzong Sect. It's stationed in the Endless Mountains. I'm ashamed to say that this is the first time I've traveled to the immortal realm. I didn't expect to encounter such a thing on my first trip out. Hiss, what? Endless Mountains? Ninth Heaven Xuanzong Sect? Hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone was shocked. If they had known that Lin Rei was talking about the Endless Mountains, it was a forbidden area. There were all kinds of demonic beasts in there. It was said that there were even immortal emperors who thought they were immortal primes. Although people said so, there was no proof. Now that they heard Lin Rei's words, they were shocked, especially the Ninth Heaven Xuanzong sect. They had never heard of such a sect. However, it was able to cultivate a person like Lin Rei. That sect must be a super sect. However, Lin Rei did not know what they were thinking at this time. If he knew, he would definitely burst out laughing. What super sect? It was just a sect with an earth immortal disciple. It was nothing in the immortal realm. Well, that's right. Endless mountains. Why? Why not? Seeing such a huge reaction from them, Linley actually felt a bit uncomfortable. Although he knew that his sect would definitely become a transcendent sect in the future, the name of his sect had yet to be spread out. How did they know about it? Linley was puzzled. No, it's nothing. It's just that we didn't expect Brother Lin's sect to be stationed in the forbidden area of the Endless Mountain Range. Furthermore, we've never heard of Brother Linley's sect before. It should be a transcendent sect. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to nurture a genius like you. Listening to their words, Lin Rei finally knew what they were shocked about. It turned out that they were shocked about the endless mountains. Alas. To tell you the truth, the Nine Heavens Xuanzong sect was founded by me. It is not a super sect like you said. Lin Rei explained to them again. This time, they were even more shocked. How could they imagine that a practitioner who had just become a Xian immortal, who was just an earth immortal, had founded a sect alone in the endless mountains? He, Brother Lin, is really extraordinary. I didn't expect you to be the head of a sect at such a young age. I really admire you. As they spoke, they couldn't help but feel a sense of respect for Linley. Linley also felt it and nodded with a smile on his face. You don't have to be like this. I know you are very upset here because there is no immortal spiritual energy for cultivation. However, if you join my Xuanzong sect, I can teach you a method to devour blood and evil energy. Of course, the sect's benefits are not limited to this. However, it depends on your own wishes. If you are not willing, well, I will not force you. After saying that, Lin Rei turned around and walked towards the battlefield of gods and devils. At this time, Lin Rei was really leaving. If they were not willing, then even if Lin Rei held a knife to their necks, it would be useless. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Lin Rei walked step by step towards the land of gods and devils. Startling Dawn and the others were very conflicted and tormented. It was reasonable to say that they were all candidates to inherit the position of the sect head in the future. If they really joined the Xuanzong sect now, it was equivalent to them not having any relationship with the sect in the future. Chapter 343. Brother Lin, please wait for a moment. Just as Startling Dawn and the others were in a dilemma, and Linley was about to leave, Jian Feng's voice rang out in everyone's ears. Everyone's gaze focused on Jian Feng, and of course, Linley's as well. Have you thought it through? After saying these simple words, Linley looked expectantly at Jian Feng, hoping that his answer wouldn't disappoint him. Yes. I've thought it through. I agree to join the Xuanzong sect, but you have to teach me sword principle. If you can't even agree to this, then I won't join. However, once one person started, there would be a second and a third. Hearing Jian Feng's request, this was not a problem for Linley. After all, Jian Feng's specialty was not the way of the sword. Imparting it to him might not be a bad choice. Okay, I promise you. However, I'm afraid that you'll think that I don't know sword principle. Lin Rei didn't lie. He really didn't know much about simple. His so-called sword chi was generated by comprehending the sword chi of the 10,000 laws sword. What? Lin Rei's words made Jian Feng a little stunned. What did he mean by, I don't know much about it? Alas. To tell you the truth, I don't know much about simple. The sword Chiyu felt was just comprehended by me from the 10,000 Laws sword. Therefore, if you really join the Xuanzong sect, I can lend you the 10,000 Laws sword to study and comprehend. Currently, there are only 3 swords. Everyone understood the meaning behind his words. However, when they heard the words 10,000 Laws sword, they all accepted it. They had all experienced the 10,000 Laws sword before. Thus, Jian Feng immediately agreed to Lin Li's request. Okay, I promise you. I'll join the Xuanzong sect. From now on, I, Jian Feng, will be a disciple of the Xuanzong sect. Ha ha ha, good, good. Jian Feng, I was right about you. However, since you've become a disciple of the Xuanzong sect, I can't treat you unfairly. As he spoke, Lin Rei took out the bottle of pills that were given to each disciple when they went out for training. Similarly, Lin Rei took out a bottle and handed it to Jian Feng. Here. I gave each of them a bottle of elixirs during their free time. Now that you've become a disciple of the Xuanzong sect, I should compensate you. Hearing the word pill, Jian Feng accepted it without any hesitation. He knew that this was a good thing. Unless one was a fool, no one would not want it. Ah. Can I still get pills if I join a sect? At this moment, Zhu Chenxi saw the pills in Jian Feng's hand. For a moment, she was tempted. To be honest, Lin Rei's conditions were very tempting. There was the blood-devouring technique, pills, and the possibility of learning formations that even her grandfather didn't know about. With so many benefits, Zhu Chenxi couldn't resist. Okay, I'll join your Xuanzong sect too. However, since Jian Feng has chosen the way of the sword, I'll choose the way of the formation. I hope to come into contact with many new formations. Of course, pills are indispensable. Oh. Lin Rei didn't expect this woman to go back to her own sect. Previously, when he heard their conversation, this woman seemed to be the granddaughter of the Emperor of Formations. Therefore, Lin Rei didn't think much about it. However, now that the plot had changed, Lin Rei hoped to have more people like her. Okay. I have a book on formations here. It's an emperor-level book on formations. After joining the sect, I can teach you. Similarly, this bottle of pills is for you. As a disciple of the Xuanzong sect, as long as you make enough contributions, you can enjoy high-grade pills. As he spoke, he took out a book on formations. Together with a bottle of pills, he handed it to Zhu Chenxi. He wasn't stingy at all, as if these things were ordinary items that were worthless. Okay. After receiving the books and pills, Zhu Chenxi couldn't wait to see the formation master. Suddenly, her eyes widened and she looked shocked. She even cried out in surprise. Ah. So there really is a blood spirit sky ceiling formation. Even my grandfather's book on formations didn't have much information about it. I didn't expect it to be so complete here. Today's events had completely overturned everything she had known in the past. After receiving the books on formations, she never left the books and studied them. And all this was witnessed by Jing Xiao and Wan Yin Duo. To be honest, it was impossible for them not to be moved. However, they couldn't make the decision to join the sect. Therefore, in the end, they didn't agree to Lin Rei's request. Of course, Lin Rei had said before that he couldn't really force them to join his sect. Lin Rei wouldn't force them. As the saying goes, a melon that is forcefully picked is not sweet. Okay, I'll teach you the method of devouring the evil blood aura now. As he spoke, Lin Rei's index and middle fingers formed sword fingers and dropped them on their foreheads. The simplified method of devouring the evil blood aura was transmitted into their minds. Remember, study the method carefully. Don't be in a hurry. Otherwise, it will be counterproductive. At first, the two of you should practice in the outer area. When you're familiar with the method, go to the central area. Remember. After giving his instructions to Jianfeng, Linli instantly disappeared from where he had been standing. In the blink of an eye, he had reappeared 1,000 meters away, where he had been training. If he had known, he would have used 5 years to reach this stage by relying on the perfect devouring the heavens art. How could their simplified version be compared to the real devouring the heavens art? Sitting cross-legged, Lin Rei once again entered the state of comprehension and cultivation. Lin Rei and Jing Shao followed his instructions and practiced in the outer area. As for Jing Shao and the others, they didn't join the Xuanzong sect and didn't receive Lin Rei's guidance. Therefore, they could only wait in the initial area. Everything returned to normal. Lin Li had taken in 2 people as he wished. Although he hadn't taken in the other 2, Lin Li was satisfied. As the saying goes, contentment brings joy. Lin Li wasn't the sort of person who was insatiably greedy. Just like that, year after year passed. Year after year passed. Lin Li didn't know how many years had passed. During this period of time, Lin Li's cultivation had increased by quite a bit, but it was nowhere near as fast as it had been in the past. Behind them, Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi, who had received Lin Li's energy transmission, had improved quite quickly. Perhaps it was because they already had a high level of cultivation, which was why they were able to refine the baleful aura quite quickly, especially Jian Feng. Originally, he was ready to break through when he was refined by the inner devil. After a few years of consolidation, he felt that his Taoist foundation was stable. Finally, he broke through to the primordial unity golden immortal realm. In these years, Jian Feng practiced hard and studied the sword principle very deeply. As for the others, they all practiced hard. Zhu Chenxi didn't have much time to practice, but her cultivation was very close to reaching the primordial unity golden immortal realm with Jian Feng. For Zhu Chenxi, the art of formation was her life. As long as she had time, she would study the art of formation to the point of madness. Jing Shao and Jing Shao had been waiting for Lin Rei and the others. Occasionally, they would practice. Because the immortal spiritual qi here was not very pure, they basically didn't practice much these years. They were still in the realm of true immortals, but they had been comprehending the realm. However, they didn't know that their disappearance had attracted the attention of the forces behind them. Chapter 344. Whether it was the Million Bao Sect, the Jingtian Sect, the Formation Emperor, or the Sword Sect, they all sent people to Jingshao City to search for them 3 years after their disappearance. But because of the obstruction of the evil blood qi, they could not do anything. However, after more than 20 years, there was still no news from the juniors. Their fathers could no longer sit still. They ordered the elders of their sects to lead their disciples to Jingxing City. They also ordered them to bring Jingshao and the others back to their sects safely no matter what method they had to use. Those who came to search for them were also very anxious. After all, they had watched Jingshao and the others grow up. They also felt sorry for them. However, at this moment, Lin Rei had already woken up. His aura was gradually increasing. In the past 20 years of practice, Lin Rei had forcibly raised his cultivation to the primordial unity genuine celestial realm. And his realm had also risen from the golden celestial realm to the peak of the almighty immortal of the great all-embracing heaven. Of course, if it wasn't for Lin Li's profound cultivation, then it would be impossible for Lin Li to break through so quickly even if he possessed even more baleful blood energy. Moreover, Lin Li was able to sense that if he continued cultivating, then it would probably take another 100 years before he would be able to break through into the golden immortal realm. But the affairs of the world were unpredictable, and no one knew what would happen in the future. However, after waking up, Lin Rei immediately smiled when he sensed the cultivation of Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi. He felt very gratified for them. After all, their cultivation had increased, which meant that his sect would also rise to a higher level. Moreover, it was not easy to be promoted from a genuine celestial to a primordial unity golden celestial. After all, their inherited cultivation methods were not very good. They had been practicing for so long, so it was impossible to change immediately. Phew. Lin Rei stood up and looked at the end of the battlefield of gods and devils. Lin Rei's eyes revealed a look of dissatisfaction, and his face darkened. Alas. Not bad. We reached the end so quickly. If there were more than a dozen places, even if I stayed here for thousands of years, I would still be happy. I'm willing to do that. Sighing with emotion, he prepared to receive them. At this moment, the little dragon, who had been silent for tens of years, spoke. Humph, you brat, it's good enough that you have such a paradise. Others can't even get one even if they want it, but you don't have it. Look at them. With that, the little dragon appeared, looking as old as ever. Lin Rei was secretly sad, but he still looked in the direction the little dragon was pointing. At this moment, Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi, who were sitting in the middle of the battlefield of the gods and demons, had happy smiles on their faces. From this, one could imagine how happy they were to be able to cultivate here. What made them even happier was that they could obtain the method to refine the blood qi. If this was in the past, they would never have dared to imagine that such a day would come. Look at them. If they hadn't met you, would they be able to cultivate here? Also, look at their cultivation. If it weren't for the support of the blood qi and coercion, would they be able to break through to the peak of primordial unity golden immortal so quickly? According to their previous cultivation, I'm afraid it would take them 50 to 60 years. Of course, unless they had king-level elixirs or extremely precious herbs. Otherwise, At this point, Lin Rei also understood the meaning of his words just now. He was indeed a little unsatisfied. However, when the little dragon said the next words, Lin Rei was stunned. But how can your way of thinking be compared to those ordinary people? You're the system owner. Xiaolong's words made Lin Li want to rush up and give him a good beating. He clearly knew what was going on, but he still spoke so righteously. Little dragon, you're so good at fooling me. Are you crazy? Don't think that I won't dare to scold you just because you've become like this in order to open the bronze door for me. If you were like that, it would still be the same. After saying that, Lin Rei did not say anything more. Instead, he walked directly toward Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi. As for the little dragon, he also disappeared and entered the system to cultivate. Lin Rei, who was unwilling to leave Jian Feng, came in front of them in an instant. He said to them through divine sense, both of you, wake up. I'll take you to a place that can help you improve your cultivation quickly. Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi, who were immersed in the Tao of formations, stopped cultivating the moment they heard Lin Rei's words. The moment they saw Lin Rei again, they stood up and bowed to Lin Rei. The two of us pay our respects to the sect leader. Oh. Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi's sudden actions made Lin Rei a little uncomfortable. However, he was the sect leader after all. How could he not handle such a small situation? All right. In the future, when we're together, just call me young master. I don't have so many rules here. Yes, young master. Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, the two of them quickly changed their greetings. May I know why young master has called for us? Hearing their questions, a smile appeared on Lin Li's face as he said to them, there isn't much energy left here. Just let them serve as a barrier here. We'll immediately set off for the next cultivation area. You have to know that you won't be able to leave within 100 years. If you're there, I can open the bronze door and let you go. No need. Since the two of us have joined the Xuanzong sect, we'll definitely follow you wherever you go. In fact, in their hearts, they knew that just this place alone was able to raise their cultivation to such a level. If they went further down, they didn't dare to imagine what would happen. Therefore, after Lin Rei made such a request, they gave up on leaving and followed Lin Rei. How could Lin Rei not know what they were thinking? However, how could Lin Rei not know what they were thinking? All right, let's go. As for Jingxiao and Zhu Chenxi, let them wait here. After all, they're not disciples of the sect. There are some secrets that they can't know. After finishing his words, Lin Rei turned and walked into the depths. As for Jingxiao and Zhu Chenxi, Lin Rei had no obligation or responsibility to take them along. After all, they weren't disciples of the Xuanzong sect. This was their choice. Seeing Lin Rei leave decisively, Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi were very glad that they had made the right choice. Seeing Lin Rei leave, the two of them still wanted to follow. Turning their heads to look at Jingxiao and Zhu Chenxi, who were cultivating, Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi didn't have the chance. Instead, they followed Lin Rei into the depths of the ruins. Jingxiao and Zhu Chenxi were now cultivating. They didn't know that Lin Rei and the others had already left and were heading into the depths of the ruins. Alright, the cultivation in the battlefield of the gods and devils has ended. Next, we'll go to the end of the ruins, which is the core of the ruins, the gods and devils' blood pool. At this time, Lin Rei, who was on the road again, was puzzled after hearing the words of the little dragon. According to the literal meaning, Lin Rei might know, but this was too strange. How could it be calculated according to common sense? Gods and devils' blood pool? What's that? F***CK. Are you stupid? The gods and devils' blood pool is, of course, a mixture of the blood of the gods and devils. At this time, the little dragon rolled his eyes in front of Lin Rei. He didn't expect Lin Rei to be so stupid. For a moment, Lin Rei was stunned. The little dragon's words made him want to die. He had thought so much before, and the gods and devils' blood pool was the literal meaning. Okay. Lin Rei didn't know what to say, so he closed his mouth and listened to the little dragon. I've told you about the ruins before. It was left behind from the great war of the gods and devils. The ruins are divided into 3 layers. The first layer is the blood spirit sky ceiling formation, and the second layer is the battlefield of the gods and devils. With the obstruction of the evil blood chi, even immortal emperors can't enter. Of course, unless you're an immortal venerable or a devouring cultivator like you. The third level is the place you are heading to now. It is also the place where the essence of the fiend god was left behind. There is a dense baleful blood chi here, and it is 100 or even 1,000 times denser than the baleful blood chi on the fiend god battlefield. There is also a blood pool that is formed from the fiend god's blood essence. You can imagine how precious it is, and nothing can compare to it. After listening to the little dragon's words, Lin Rei's body stopped moving. The 2 people behind him were even more puzzled. They didn't understand Lin Rei's meaning. Little did they know that Lin Rei was so excited after hearing the little dragon's words that he couldn't control himself. His eyes shone brightly, and his body trembled with excitement. This scene made Jian Feng and the other 2 people behind him worried. How could Jian Feng and the other 2, who had been following behind him, not worry about this sudden situation? Young master, are you okay? The sudden words woke Lin Rei up. He suppressed the joy in his heart, and on the surface, he still looked as calm as before. Oh, I'm fine. Let's continue. Feeling that he had lost his composure, Lin Rei was too embarrassed to say anything. Of course, the little dragon was convulsing with laughter in the system. He was about to pass out from laughing. Ha 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 ha. After the laughter reached Lin Rei's ears, his face became embarrassed. His momentary loss of composure gave the little dragon a chance to mock him. Okay, stop laughing. Warning the little dragon was obviously useless. At this moment, the little dragon seemed to be laughing uncontrollably. Finally, when Lin Rei couldn't take it anymore, he sealed the connection between himself and the little dragon. Oh, finally quiet. You only know how to laugh at me. After speaking, Lin Li led Jian Feng and the other 2 into the depths of the forest. Now that the news of Xiaolong had been cut off, they finally had some peace and quiet, and their mood instantly improved. Logically speaking, the further they went, the more dangerous it would be. But here, Lin Rei realized that wasn't the case. The 2 levels of the 1,000 Faces were extremely dangerous. If he didn't rely on his devouring heaven spell, he wouldn't have been able to enter at all. At this time, they had walked very far on the road to the 3rd level, but they didn't find any danger. In Lin Rei's consciousness, he had already relaxed his attitude towards the 3rd level. Chapter 345. As the old saying goes, danger is always close to you when you're relaxed. Just when Lin Rei thought that there was no danger, suddenly, a terrifying force rushed out from the depths and directly enveloped Lin Rei, Zhu Chenxi, and Jian Feng, rushing into the depths. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They moved so fast that they could clearly hear the wind blowing past their ears. Lin Rei was very shocked at this time. It was reasonable to say that there was no danger along the way, but there was such a powerful force here, which was really beyond Lin Rei's imagination. Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi, who were also enveloped by the force, were even more so. They could not figure out why they had arrived here safely. You two don't have to worry. If there is really danger, I will protect you well. After feeling the two's panic, Lin Rei immediately turned his head and gave them a reassuring smile, assuring them. Oh, young master, what are you talking about? We are the people of the Xuanzong sect. How can we let the sect leader risk his life for his subordinates? If it really comes to that, although we are not very strong, we can still put up a fight. So when the time comes, young master, we will protect you. You go first. Jian Feng's words were enough to prove his loyalty to the Xuanzong sect and to himself. So, Lin Rei secretly swore again that he would never let anything happen to such a person. After making the decision, Lin Rei turned around and did not speak, but quietly looked ahead. Humph, I want to see who you are, and how you can catch us in an instant. Calming himself down, Lin Li calmed himself down. When he looked at this matter again, Lin Li realized that there were some mysteries to it. Oh, so that's it. In order to verify whether what he thought was true, Lin Rei immediately sent out his divine sense, and the terrain within a radius of 1,000 meters fell into his divine sense. As expected, it is indeed a natural absorption array. I didn't expect to see such an array here. After knowing what was going on, Lin Rei's anxious heart relaxed. He turned around and told everyone about this matter. Don't worry. At this time, he is absorbing the energy of the array. When we reach the place, his energy will disappear. Oh. Absorbing array formation? When they heard that the energy that enveloped them was caused by the formation, they were all shocked, especially Zhu Chenxi. She asked Lin Rei in return. Yes, that's right. This is a naturally formed absorption array. The baleful blood qi here might be strong, but with this natural absorption array, even immortal monarchs and immortal emperors wouldn't be able to survive here. Therefore, it's impossible for us to break this absorption array with our cultivation. After hearing that he could absorb the power of the formation, Zhu Chenxi's reverence for Lin Rei increased again. As expected, the force of nature is very magical. It can even form such an array. It seems that I still have a lot to learn from you about the Tao of arrays. At this moment, the 3 of them were relieved. If it were others, they would definitely be worried. After all, they couldn't absorb the baleful blood qi. Okay, we're almost there. Follow my pattern later. Don't let your emotions affect your decisions, understand? When his divine sense was about to reach the deepest part, Lin Rei couldn't help but remind Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi again. Yes, young master. At this moment, at the beginning of the battlefield of gods and devils, Jing Shao woke up from his cultivation. He raised his head and looked at the battlefield of gods and devils. It was empty. He instantly stood up and shouted to Wan Yunduo, who was beside him. Yunduo, this is bad. Lin Rei and Jian Feng have disappeared. What? Wan Yunduo, who was in the midst of cultivation, instantly opened her eyes and looked at the battlefield of gods and devils. It was empty. She was instantly disappointed. Needless to say, they must have gone to the depths of the ruins. Heh. Forget it. Let's just wait here. Since they didn't go to the Xuanzong sect, it means that they have no obligation or responsibility to take us to the depths of the ruins. After cultivating here for so many years, Wan Yunduo had become indifferent to everything in the world. Sigh. Jing Shao sighed when he heard Wan Yunduo's words. Then, he sat cross-legged again and closed his eyes. He was filled with regret. If he had known this would happen, he wouldn't have stuck to the old rules. However, he couldn't be blamed. His family's cultivation was very strict. In addition, his ancestor was an immortal venerable. His father and grandfather were both immortal emperors. No one would want to give up such a background and go to a sect with only a profound immortal sect leader. In just an instant, they were immersed in cultivation again. Everything in the outside world had nothing to do with them. At this moment, Lin Rei and the other two, who were enveloped by the absorption formation, had reached the end of the formation. Blood red. It was still blood red. However, this place was much better than the previous battlefield. At the very least, there was a type of red flower here. Lin Li and the others didn't know the name of this flower. However, it was so beautiful that people couldn't help but want to pick it. Wow, what a beautiful flower. At this moment, Zhu Chenxi, who had reached the end, saw the red flower and couldn't help but go forward to pick it. At this moment, Lin Rei quickly stopped her. Come back here. A sentence imbued with immortal essence entered Zhu Chenxi's ears. Instantly, Zhu Chenxi was jolted awake as if she had been struck by lightning. Huff, huff, what happened to me? Zhu Chenxi, who had just woken up, looked at her hand and opened her eyes to step on the red flower. Her eyes were filled with confusion as she turned her head and asked Jian Feng. Jian Feng didn't know what was going on. He looked at Lin Rei and asked for his opinion. It's okay. That flower probably has a hallucinogenic effect. It's fine as long as you don't pick it. As he spoke, Lin Li began to walk towards an extremely well-hidden cave. If it wasn't for the fact that Lin Li was walking in that direction, no one would have discovered that there was another cave up ahead. Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi followed closely behind. Of course, when they reached the entrance of the cave, a terrifying smell of blood wafted over. Wretch, wretch, wretch. In just a short moment, Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi, who were at the side, bent over and retched. They couldn't stop vomiting. After vomiting their gallbladder, the two of them felt better. However, at this moment, their faces were pale and bloodless. As for Lin Rei, when he smelled the smell of blood, he only frowned slightly. He didn't feel like vomiting at all. After seeing Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi's actions, Lin Rei laughed. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that as practitioners, you can't even smell the smell of blood. How strange. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the two of them quickly raised their heads and resisted the urge to vomit. They looked at Lin Rei curiously and asked in confusion, Young master, it's not that we can't smell the smell of blood. It's just that we have never smelled this kind of blood before. In the past, when we killed people, we just left after killing them. Who would still smell the smell of blood? Yes. Young master, you can smell this kind of blood. It seems that you have killed many people in the past. Their words caused Lin Li to chuckle. However, what they said wasn't wrong. Back in the profound sky continent, he could annihilate an entire sect without batting an eye. What did this bit of bloodshed count for? Well, there's a blood pool inside. It's the blood essence of gods and demons. It can enhance the power of your bloodline. If you can endure it, you can enter the blood pool to cultivate. Of course, if you can't, I won't force you. As he spoke, Lin Rei took out 2 items from his ring. One was an elixir and the other was a book. He handed them to the two of them and said understandingly, Chenxi, this elixir will help you break through your cultivation of array formations. Of course, it might even help you reach the golden immortal realm. What? Really? Looking at the elixir in front of her, Zhu Chenxi was excited. Although she was immune to Lin Rei's endless good things, she was still shocked by Lin Rei at this moment. However, this elixir can only be eaten once in a lifetime. If you eat more, your cultivation of array formations will be destroyed. No matter what method you use, you won't be able to condense it. Of course, although Lin Rei said so, he couldn't give more. He only had one elixir left. Maybe he would give it to his disciple, Cullen. Okay, I got it. As she spoke, Zhu Chenxi took the elixir and carefully put it in her storage ring. Jian Feng, I don't have anything to give you. This 10,000 swords technique is for you. Don't despise its low level. I'll give it to you when I have better ones in the future. As he spoke, Lin Rei directly handed the 10,000 swords technique to Jian Feng, hoping that he wouldn't despise it. Thank you, young master. Looking at the martial skill book in front of him, Jian Feng took it and flipped through it. When he saw the words king-level martial skill, Jian Feng shuddered and the book in his hand fell to the ground. On the other hand, Zhu Chenxi glanced over from the corner of her eye, and the words Emperor rank martial technique entered her eyes. She was instantly extremely shocked. If I knew earlier, then a king rank cultivation technique could be said to be extremely precious in the immortal dimension. Even the sword sect and the various sects might not casually produce a king rank cultivation technique, yet he actually gave it away so easily. At this moment, Zhu Chenxi's expectations of the Xian Zone grew higher and higher, especially his mysterious side. Not only did he know how to set up matrices, but he also knew how to concoct pills that were called king-level martial skills. Otherwise, if he gave them away so easily, she didn't know what even more unbelievable things would happen to the Xian Zone and their sect leader. Thank you for your gift, sect leader. I will work hard to cultivate and contribute to you. At this time, Jian Feng was very excited. He knelt on the ground and thanked Lin Rei. Of course, he also picked up the book that had fallen to the ground. Ha, alright, get up. You are the mainstays of the sect. With you around, the sect will not collapse. That's why I gave you these things. Looking at Lin Rei's indifferent look, the corners of Zhu Chenxi's mouth could not help but twitch. It was the first time that she had seen such a generous sect leader. Usually, the sect leader would accumulate wealth for his sect. However, this sect leader was rich and collected people. Alright, I'll go in first. If you've made up your mind, come in. If you haven't, you can cultivate outside. But remember, don't touch those red flowers. Besides, the blood qi outside is very strong. I'm looking forward to seeing which realm you'll be in when you wake up again. At this moment, the sweat on Lin Rei's face flowed freely down his cheeks, but there was indeed a smile on his face. As expected, the burning heart raging flames formation is not so easy to set up. Boom! In an instant, the burning heart flame that was half arranged collapsed and dispersed. The first arrangement had ended in failure. I don't believe that I can't set up a small formation today. In an instant, the illusory spirit blood fire was used again. This time, Lin Rei clearly felt that it was different. This time, it was faster and smoother than the first time. Slowly, the illusory spirit blood fire began to spread on the ground, and an array diagram of the burning heart raging flame was automatically drawn. As expected, although it's not very skillful, it's much better than before. I hope this time I can succeed. Although he had said tough words before, drawing an array diagram was a very time-consuming thing. It was not something that could be successfully drawn just because he wanted to. It required a person's endurance, patience, and control of immortal spiritual qi. Of course, the most important thing was the props to draw the array diagram. Time passed, bit by bit. In this dark place, no one knew how much time had passed. Linley only knew that a very long time had passed. Finally, at this moment, the grand formation of the burning heart of raging flames was about to be completed. The burning heart raging flames formation is completed. With a swoosh, a flame appeared at the exit and sealed it. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray had a tired smile on his face. His tense body finally relaxed at this moment. Plop. Lin Ray, who was about to stand up, hesitated to draw the array diagram. He had used too much of his mind and mental strength. At this moment, Lin Ray was exhausted and fell directly to the ground. Young master, are you okay? Zhu Chenxi and Jian Feng, who had been paying attention to the array diagram, came to Lin Ray's side the moment they saw Lin Ray fall. They helped Lin Ray up and asked with concern. I'm fine. It's just that I used too much energy to set up the array. I'll be fine after cultivating for a while. You have to remember, this array diagram, you must not recklessly barge in. With your current cultivation, you will be destroyed in an instant. Looking at Jian Feng who were concerned about him, Lin Ray quickly told them that he did not know the power of the array diagram just now. If they did not know and wanted to test the array, Lin Ray would not be able to save them in time even if they died. SSS, yes, we know. When Zhu Chenxi heard Linley's words, she was immediately shocked. She had never seen such an array before. Not even her grandfather, the array emperor, was able to use his own flames to draw an array without using any external objects. This was something that even her grandfather, the array emperor, could not do. Okay, I'll go in first. You guys stay here and cultivate. If you want Lin Ray, come in. The energy in these few years is many times higher than outside. As he spoke, Lin Ray sent Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi, who were supporting him, over and strolled into the cave. This time, Lin Ray directly entered without turning his head. All the precautions were in place. Therefore, Lin Ray's worries were gone. Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi, who were waiting outside, watched Lin Ray enter the cave and turned their heads to look at the array diagram again. Then, they each found a place and sat cross-legged to cultivate. Phew, it seems that I have to practice drawing arrays more in the future. I've only set up one array diagram and it consumes so much energy. However, I should also be a weapon refiner in the future. Otherwise, I won't be able to make array flags. Thinking of this, Lin Ray came back to his senses. What he saw was a blood pool that was 10 meters long and 10 meters wide. However, he did not know how deep it was. The blood in the blood pool was still bubbling from time to time, as if it was boiling. It was extremely terrifying. The space in the cave was not very big. Other than the blood pool, there was only an altar. There was nothing else. Blood pool, I'm coming. Looking at the blood pool in front of him, Lin Ray could no longer stop himself and directly jumped into it. Plop. Lin Ray, who jumped into the blood pool, splashed a flower of blood. Fresh blood covered Lin Ray's entire body. His face was also stained with blood, and he could no longer see his previous appearance. As expected, the energy in the blood pool is so strong. Even the energy absorbed in the battlefield of gods and demons over the past few years is not as good as cultivating here for a month. One could imagine how strong the energy in the blood pool was. Compared to this, the battlefield of gods and demons from before was simply trash. That's why. How can the place I found for you be bad? No matter what, you are the owner of the system. How can I let you cultivate in such a trashy place? Don't you think so, Lin Ray? The little dragon's voice appeared and disappeared mysteriously. Lin Ray had long been used to this. But what made Lin Ray feel strange was that he had clearly cut off the connection with the little dragon, so why was it still like this now? That's not right, little dragon, I'm not. Could it be? As Lin Rei said, he realized that the connection between him and the little dragon seemed to be cut off. If that was the case, wouldn't it mean that there was no personal time? Hee, that's right. The two of us are tied together. But if you don't want me to see something, I can't see it. But if you talk, I can still barely hear it. The facts prove that. Lin Rei was speechless. I didn't expect the system to have so many loopholes. There's actually such a thing. As Lin Rei said, he closed his eyes and didn't say anything. However, the little dragon was like a faucet. Once it was turned on, it couldn't be turned off again. Let me tell you, this is the place of the gods. You have to cultivate well. It will take you at least 100 years to complete this blood. Also, the previous formation wasn't called an absorption formation. It was just a natural storage formation. In the future, don't impart knowledge carelessly if you don't understand. Otherwise, you'll embarrass yourself and even more so me. Every word fell into Lin Rei's ears. At this moment, Lin Rei had reached the point where he couldn't bear it any longer and finally exploded. Enough, little dragon. I beg you, don't be like a meddlesome woman and nag endlessly. If you do this, I'm very. At this point, Lin Rei didn't continue. When he thought of the repercussions left when the little dragon didn't hesitate to help him open the bronze door, Lin Rei didn't know how to continue. Alright, Xiaolong, you go back first. After I've cultivated here for 100 years, whatever you want to say when I come out, I'll accompany you. You've said it yourself, I'm in urgent need to increase my strength. Otherwise, as the patriarch of a sect, if I don't have the strength to protect my sect's disciples, that would be a very shameful matter. As he said that, Lin Rei closed his eyes again. He activated the Devouring Heaven technique and the Chaos Scripture and began to cultivate. Lin Rei was already at the peak of the Zenith Heaven realm. As long as he had enough energy, he could break through. However, the energy that Lin Rei needed was the energy of hundreds of practitioners in the Zenith Heaven realm. For this, it wasn't a small amount. After the little dragon heard Lin Rei's words, a smile appeared on his face. The corners of his mouth curled into a smile. Then, he disappeared from the cave and returned to the system to recuperate. Lin Rei began his closed-door cultivation. This was the longest closed-door cultivation he had ever done. Outside, Jingqing City was in an uproar. In just a few years, the elders of various sects had led their disciples here in order to find the missing descendants of Jingshao and other sections. Among them, the Array Emperor was the most powerful. In order to find his granddaughter, he didn't hesitate to promise the entire immortal realm that if his granddaughter was found, he would build a peerless formation for the person who found her. Chapter 347. Just like that, the sects reached an agreement with the Formation Emperor to send people into the ruins to search for their missing descendants. Although it was difficult for the immortal monarchs and immortal emperors to open the bronze door, in order to find their descendants, they did not hesitate to use the power of immortal primes. Finally, the bronze door opened. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Instantly, the sects and Hao Yu could not wait to enter the bronze door. When they appeared again, the scene in front of them had changed. It was blood red. Although there was still blood qi, it was not very dense. However, compared to the outside, it was slightly denser. However, such a scene was still a little scary for them. After all, such a place was rare. Moreover, with the thick smell of blood, no matter how many people they killed, it was impossible for them to break through and compare to this place. Some people could not even bear the scene and vomited. Their faces were pale and they could not bear to look at it. Jingshao. Wanyun duo. Hao Yu called out excitedly when he saw Startling Dawn, who were cultivating not too far away from them, when he noticed the change in the scene. Boom. For cultivators, the most taboo thing was to be disturbed when they were cultivating. At this moment, Jing Xiao encountered such a situation. After hearing the commotion outside, the immortal spiritual qi that was flowing smoothly suddenly went out of control and began to wreak havoc in his veins. Puff! Jing Xiao spat out a mouthful of blood and opened his eyes instantly. Looking at the person who offended him, Jing Xiao could not wait to kill him. However, when he saw the bronze door, Jing Xiao was stunned. Third uncle? You, why are you here? Jing Xiao asked in disbelief. He did not expect that his third uncle, the third elder of Jing Tian's sect, Jing Hong, would be here. What was he doing here? Looking for him, or? I'll deal with you when we get back. Do you know that in these few years, your father has been worried sick and your mother has fallen ill? Hearing his third uncle's words, Jing Xiao knew that he was exaggerating. However, when he heard that his mother had fallen ill, he did not care who disturbed his cultivation. No, mother is sick. I have to go back immediately. After saying that, Jing Xiao stood up and prepared to go home to see his mother. However, he was stopped by Jing Hong. Well, your mother is fine. She just misses you. You should know why I'm here. I'm here to find you. Secondly, I want to see how powerful the ruins are. Even you, a practitioner at the Tai Genuine Immortal Realm, can't pass through it. Phew. It's good that mother is fine, it's good that she's fine. It was a false alarm. The moment he learned that his mother was fine, Jing Xiao heaved a sigh of relief, and his tense body relaxed. With a swishing sound, a group of people appeared outside of the bronze gate. Everyone knew who they were. They were from the 10,000 Treasure Sect. Furthermore, they were high-ranking members of the 10,000 Treasure Sect. Their leader was the great elder of the 10,000 Treasure Sect, Wan Yuan. At this moment, Wan Yuan's face was filled with anxiety. The moment he entered the battlefield, his small eyes began to scan the place, hoping to find the person he was looking for. Cloud. Looking at Wan Yunduo, who was still cultivating in the distance, Wan Yuan didn't cry out in alarm. Instead, he used his divine sense to transmit into Wan Yunduo's ears, Yunduo, quickly wake up. Uncle is here to find you. His words made Wan Yunduo stop cultivating. She opened her eyes and looked excitedly in the direction of the bronze gate. At a glance, she saw her strangely dressed and suspicious-looking uncle, Wan Yuan. With a swish, Wan Yunduo teleported to Wan Yuan's side. She threw herself into Wan Yuan's arms and began to cry. Uncle, you've finally come to find Duo. Do you know that it's so boring here? All I do is cultivate every day. When the surrounding people saw Wan Yunduo crying, they thought that she had been wronged or bullied. They didn't expect that these words would come out of her mouth. Immediately, everyone present rolled their eyes, expressing their helplessness. He, good girl Duo, don't be afraid. See, uncle is here to pick you up. And I've brought you a lot of food. With that, Wan Yuan let go of Yunduo and came to an open space on the side. With a thought, all kinds of immortal treasures and seafood appeared on the originally empty space. Ah. Wan Yunduo cried out in alarm. For a moment, she didn't care about being a girl or a young lady. The moment she saw the immortal treasures and seafood, she went forward, grabbed the leg of an unknown demonic beast and began to eat. For a moment, the surrounding people were stunned. They didn't expect that the direct descendant of the sect master of the Wanbao sect was such a person. Of course, this included startling Dawn. No matter what, the two of them had been together for a few decades. He never expected that Wan Yunduo would have such a cute side to her. She was usually cold and distant, giving off a feeling of being 1,000 miles away from others. Hey, Jing Xiao, come quickly. These are all good things. You don't often get to eat them outside. Jing Xiao, who was looking at Wan Yunduo again, suddenly heard Wan Yunduo's invitation. He wanted to decline, but he couldn't refuse her kindness. Besides, what Wan Yunduo said was true. He had only seen a part of the things here. It was true that they were treasures. Eventually, Jing Xiao joined in as well. Originally, he had been concerned about the reputation of the sect and his third uncle, but as he ate, he forgot about all of that and began to gobble up the food. He even began to drink wine and eat meat in large mouthfuls. As for the battlefield, more and more people arrived. Every one of them was at least an expert at the Grand Unity True Immortal stage. The cultivators from the various great sects and even the empires had come. With the exception of a small number who came to look for their children, the others had come for the items within the ruins. Time passed by slowly. Soon, more than 1,000 people came. Jing Xiao, who was eating, saw so many people. He knew that more than 100,000 people would go into the depths of the ruins today. At this moment, he was not in the mood to eat. He began to worry about Lin Rei. These people were several times stronger than Lin Rei and the others. Some were even 100 times stronger. He didn't want to see Lin Rei in danger. "Hey, startling dawn brat, have you seen my Chenxi? She's here too, but I haven't found her yet. Do you know?" At this moment, startling Dawn, who was worried about Linley's condition, suddenly saw a white-haired child walk up to him and ask, "Senior Array Emperor, I'm here to pay my respects." "Humph, don't tell me this. I just want to know how my granddaughter is doing." Looking at Jing Xiao's complicated formalities, the Array Emperor directly skipped over them and asked again. His eyes were filled with indescribable anxiety. That, Senior, actually your granddaughter is fine. Maybe she's doing very well now. And don't worry. You'll know when it's simple." Looking at the Array Emperor's anxious face, Jing Xiao didn't hide it anymore. Although he didn't say it explicitly, he still told the Array Emperor that Zhu Chenxi was still safe. Really? Hearing Jing Xiao's words, the Array Emperor had already believed him. If he had known this earlier, he wouldn't have dared to lie to him in the immortal realm. However, what puzzled the Array Emperor was that when Jing Xiao spoke, there were obvious elements of jealousy in his tone. Really? Chapter 348. Good. After knowing that his granddaughter was not in danger, the Array Emperor was finally relieved. However, at this moment, the Array Emperor started to feel curious. What could make a young master like Jing Xiao so envious? The Array Emperor also felt that it was not only Jing Xiao, but also the little girl from the Wanbao sect. If it was only one person, the Array Emperor would not say anything. However, it was different when there were two people. As the saying goes, there must be something fishy going on. The Array Emperor was sure that there must be something fishy going on. Seeing through something but not seeing through it was the most basic principle of life. The Array Emperor did not know. Since his granddaughter was safe and had a chance encounter, the Array Emperor smiled. Similarly, the sect master of the Sword Sect, who was also an immortal emperor, had given up guarding the sect in order to find his son. He had come here to find his son who had been missing for many years. As soon as the Array Emperor left, Jing Xiao, who thought he could breathe a sigh of relief, suddenly saw the sect master of the Sword Sect, Jian Wudi, an immortal emperor, walking towards him. He had seen the sect master of the Sword Sect before, so Jing Xiao knew that he was also a father looking for his son. "Oh, Jing Xiao, although I know you don't have much of a relationship with my Feng, you should know that he has been missing for more than 20 years. Sigh. Jian Wudi sighed and looked at Jing Xiao expectantly, hoping that he could tell him the whereabouts of his precious son. Uncle Jian, I can't say much. I can only tell you that Jian Feng had a great opportunity this time. He should be in the depths of the ruins now. He is very safe. You can rest assured." This sentence reflected many aspects. Hearing startling Dawn's words, Jian Wudi relaxed. His originally worried face now revealed a trace of a smile. Thank you very much. When you come to the Sword Sect in the future, I promise you that you can choose any weapon from the treasury as a thank you gift. After speaking, Jian Wudi turned and left. When Jing Shao heard Jian Wudi's words, he was about to say something when he saw Jian Feng's silhouette. Sigh. Jian Feng and Zhu Chenxi are so lucky this time. I guess I will have to work harder to catch up with them in the future. To be honest, Jing Shao regretted it at this moment. If he was given another chance to choose, he would choose to follow Lin Rui and join the Xuanzong sect without hesitation. Of course, at this moment, Wan Yunduo, who was standing at the side and listening to everyone asking about her family, felt very regretful. She regretted not being able to let go of her identity as the daughter of the Wanbao sect leader. Unfortunately, it was all too late. Everyone, we are all here for the same purpose. The entrance to the depths of the ruins is right in front of us. As long as we move forward, we will be able to find our own opportunities. Are you all willing to go forward and find your own opportunities? Suddenly, a middle-aged man with a mortal emperor's aura and a mortal spiritual chief shouted at the crowd while everyone was reminiscing about the past. Ha! What a clown! Since when did a nobody like you have the right to speak? You really don't know what you're talking about. Humph, another idiot who doesn't care about his life. At this moment, the sect leaders and elders of the various large sects all silently despised these people in their hearts after hearing their words. Of course, some people from the immortal sects agreed without hesitation after hearing the immortal emperor's call. We are willing to follow the immortal emperor to find our opportunities. More than half of the cultivators had joined the camp of the nameless immortal emperor. As for the remaining people, they were all brought along by the elders or sect leaders of the top sections. Without receiving any orders, it would be inappropriate for them to do anything. Good. Then all of you, follow me. After saying that, the immortal emperor saw how popular he was and led the crowd into the depths of the ruins without any hesitation. Along the way, the evil blood qi that they passed by should be fine for ordinary cultivators. However, for experts who had already become immortal emperors, although there was still a little bit of evil blood qi, it was not a big deal. Borrowing the power of the universe, God's retreat. Open for me. Boom. After a red light beam was shot out from the immortal emperor's hand, it passed through the battlefield of divinity and demons. At this moment, all the evil blood qi floating in the battlefield of divinity and demons retreated to both sides at this moment, opening up a great path in the middle. Looking at the path that opened up, the immortal emperor did not say anything and walked forward directly. The hundreds of cultivators behind him followed closely behind. Let's go and take a look. If Brother Lin is in trouble, we can still help him. At this moment, Jing Shao, who came out of the bronze door of the second level, said to Wan Yunduo beside him with eyes full of worry when he saw the mighty group of cultivators walking towards the depths of the ruins. Yes, that's right. Wan Yunduo agreed with Jing Shao and walked towards the depths of the ruins. As for the uncles who came to find them, they did not say anything when they saw the direction they were walking in. Their purpose of coming here was to see the ruins. Therefore, after Jing Shao and Jing Shao left, they also followed. There was no lack of top sects among them. Even the Sword Sect and the Array Emperor, who knew that their relatives were safe, followed closely behind to find out what was going on. The idiot who walked in front saved them from having to do anything. As for the immortal emperor at the front, he kept using his cultivation method to help the group behind him. Humph, wait and see. I'll spend some effort now. When it's time to use you, you'll know that those who take advantage of others are soft-mouthed and those who take advantage of others are short-handed. They kept moving forward. This time, the situation like Lin Rui did not happen. Along the way, other than clearing a path to avoid the blood-killing qi, there was no other danger to speak of. The deeper they went, the higher the temperature became. Gradually, a huge array appeared in front of them. How could there be an array here? He stopped and looked at the array in front of him. His heart was full of doubts. It was reasonable to say that the previous array was powerful enough. Why was there another array here? He did not understand. Senior, what should we do? This array looks very powerful. It's not easy to deal with. At this moment, a cultivator at the back said. After feeling the heat from the array, his heart was filled with fear. He could not help but take a step back and asked the immortal emperor in front of him in a trembling voice. Hiss, this array's level is so high. At this moment, the array emperor at the back was very surprised when he saw the array in front of them. When Startling Dawn saw the array, the first thing he thought of was Lin Ray. As for Zhu Chenxi, Startling Dawn automatically ranked her array Dao behind Lin Ray. Humph, break through. Isn't it just a small array? Break through it. You must break through it. After saying that, the immortal emperor at the front rushed directly into the array. Perhaps he wanted to have some influence among this group of cultivators. When the group of cultivators behind him saw that their leader had entered the array, they had no reason to refuse. They also entered the array and tried to break through it. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.